Well, that looks kind of stupid, my timer. We're just going to go ahead and kill that now. Hello, what's going on? Everybody ready for some fun live streaming, Bello Bear? Let me turn down the music a little bit. And let's go right into my streaming layout. Hello and welcome. This is my official stream going to multiple platforms, so hopefully we got no hiccups. I'm still working out streaming to TikTok. Excuse me. I'm going to cough a little bit today. I still got my allergies and stuff going. But I got cough drops, got some tea, so we're good to go. But yeah, so I'm doing multiple streaming. Figured kill a few birds with one stone, or however the hell that saying goes. I'm trying to get TikTok going. The problem is I'm on a Mac, and that causes all kinds of problems. Basically, if you're on a Mac, TikTok Studio does not work. They only make it for PC, which is, at this day and age, you'd figure they'd have it all for all platforms. But so you can still do it. You just have to use like a third party app. Cheers. You have to use a third party app and like OBS, which that's actually what I'm streaming on right now, and it works great. But you need a stream key. If you know anything about streaming, then you need a stream key to be able to work on here. And TikTok pretty much makes it impossible for you to get your stream key. Even with all their, you have to have like 1,000 followers and whatever else to start streaming. And I've did all that and everything's golden, but I still can't get a stream key. So my only option is to get to sign up with a creative network, or what they used to call agencies, and they provide you with the stream key, which I've signed up. I'm ready to go. I'm still a little leery about doing that. I should be able to just get it directly from TikTok, but whatever. I'm signed up with them, and at this point, everything looks good. I'm just waiting to get my stream key from them. So hopefully, I'll be able to do this live on TikTok too. And if any of my friends over there at TikTok, hopefully you joined me on one of the other streaming sites. I know that's a little weird. It's kind of like you just want to watch it on TikTok, but they make it difficult for no good reason. No good reason. Anybody know what that's from? Chime in. It's one of my favorites. No raisin. I know. If you don't know it, that sounds really weird. Anyway, I think we're not going to mess around too much today. We're going to dive right in because it's already 2:30 over here my time. I'm Mountain Time and in Arizona, and I want to get this done here within the next 2 to 3 hours. And trust me, it takes a little while. So let's just dive in. Feel free to say hi in the chat, ask any questions along the way, and we're just going to get up and running. So today we're doing episode 27. I know, time flies when you're having fun. So what I'm going to do is I just use my last one that I did, which is episode 26, Dollar Up. I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this. We are going to, let me double check what our name is for our next one. 27. Episode 27 is called Password 1234. I would imagine most of us will be able to relate to this one in one way or another. Anyway, we're going to call it, so episode password 1234. Then I am going to go in here and I'm going to delete the stuff from the last episode that I don't need. So like these are all my files for the video. These are all the audio files, the dialogue. I'll go ahead and delete those. Here is, I do things, I have it set up so I kind of do things in two parts, or multiple parts, I should just say. One, I use Adobe Illustrator. If any of you guys are graphic artists out there like me, you know what that one's all about. But I use Illustrator to create my scene with the background, the characters, all that fun stuff. And then I take that file and I place it into Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, Adobe InDesign. As you can tell, I'm definitely in the Adobe ecosystem here from doing graphic arts. But so then the scene that I set up, each panel that I create, I'll place that into Adobe InDesign, where I will do the just the layout of it, like all the 4 panels next to each other, and then I have the dialog boxes in there. InDesign is a great app if you want to control copy, if you want to control fonts and stuff. That's why I do it in there. Technically, you could do it all in Illustrator if you wanted to, but I like doing this separately. And it'll make more sense once I get in here, but I like doing this separately because you have a little bit more control and you're less likely to screw things up. Grabbing something by accident, a piece of your art, and moving it around, and then you go, oh shit, and you got to try to fix it. So anyway, let me quit yapping and let's keep moving. I can yap as I'm working too. You guys get to see what I'm doing. And then for the final version, we do for the video version, I use Adobe Premiere. Again, I'm a graphic artist. I pay for the whole Adobe suite. I might as well use it to my advantage. You know what I mean? Those vampires sucking all the dollars out of it. And so I'm going to get rid of all these other files. I don't need any of these. We'll recreate these for the new episode. Go ahead and delete. And now we're basically set up. So let's go ahead and open up. So this is my scene. This is the previous episode. And I'm going to use this as my starting point. That just makes it a little easier than starting from scratch. Sometimes characters will be in the right position already. And then it makes it a little easier. Anyway, let's move on to, and then we're also going to open up my InDesign file. And I have multiple things going on in here. So what you're seeing right here, these are the panels that I've adjusted for video. So they're tall vertical 1080 by 1920 video size. And I use these for making the video version. And it'll all make sense as we go down the line. But I'm going to delete the old ones out of here. And at this point, I'm just getting my files ready to go for the new episode. So nothing too crazy here. But I've found in my workflow that this kind of makes the most sense. There's so many moving parts to doing this that if I don't kind of segment these things and do them this way, it's really easy for me to screw something up and then not notice it until I've already created it and posted it to socials, and then I'm like, great, now somebody may even not notice it, but I do, and it drives me nuts. So anyway, so I deleted all my old files. I'm going to leave these here. This is for the 4-panel version. This is the traditional comic book version. So I'm going to leave these here. Sorry if you can hear me slurping. I wonder if I move. I've got my microphone right here. Let me move it to the other side. At least it won't be so quite as jarring hearing the clank off the cup. All right, there we go. Hopefully that's a little better, so when I'm drinking on this side, you won't hear me clanking the spoon around. And hopefully the audio is pretty good. So my screen tells me audio should be pretty good. I might turn it down just a hair. Almost getting to the red spikes. All right, if you need me to turn it up, don't be shy, say something. All right, so here we go. So now what I'm going to do is I write my script ahead of time. I usually do this, a couple days in advance. I'm actually trying to build up a backlog of these things to make my life a little easier. So, like, God forbid, I had to take a week off for vacation. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Or, if I'm sick or something and I need to be down for a couple days, I have these ready to go, and I could literally spend 20 minutes just posting them on all the socials. Anyway, so I've got my script here, Bello Bear episode 27, password 1234. And then I've got my script broken down into panels. Usually there's 2 lines of dialogue per panel between different characters. Sometimes there may be 1, sometimes there may be 0, sometimes there may be 3. But 2 seems to be the general consensus of what works well. It's not too much text. It's kind of the right amount. And my comic tends to be a little bit more dialogue based than doing a lot of visual, which that's more like graphic novels and comic books in that style. They tend to be focused more on the art, where I'm telling more of a story with the dialogue. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just copy paste This is pretty, boring stuff here, but so I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste these into my art file, into my layout file, if you want to call it that. Again, this is going into InDesign, where I feel like this is a perfect way to get the layout together and the dialogue fine-tuned as far as being in the dialogue boxes. And if I can grab, oops, I can't grab that one for some, oh, come on. You'd think I'd be able to highlight something for copying pasting, but apparently not today. But that's okay. We'll get it figured out sooner or later. And then we got one more here. Select all, paste, and one more. And don't mind that it's still the old artwork in the background from the last comic. We're going to change all that. But I just like getting it pasted in there. And then what I'm going to do is grab all the dialogue boxes. And I have preset paragraph styles, or kind of like how the characters are, the text is supposed to be, how wide. This particular font is set at 90%. How much space is in between the letters, the kerning, the tracking, and I have a preset. So what I do is I'm just going to go ahead in here and clear overrides, which I'd done overrides before to tweak to fit better in the dialogue boxes. And then I'll come back to that, and we're going to tweak that. Next up, I'm going to want to change some of these things. This is going to be episode 27, and the name is password1234. I do a lot of copying and pasting, so that way it's easier for me to, like, doing the script first, having everything written out. I can, kind of do a spell check there already, and then once I take it from there, copy and paste it in here. I'm kind of doing a secondary spell check as I'm doing that. And it just helps me avoid typos and stupid stuff like that. Ah, that feels good. I've had crazy allergies the last couple of weeks, and we're, let me see, all right, password, episode, we'll look good there. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom because I think I have one more thing I need to paste in here. Oh yeah, the outro. Did I have an outro for this? I'm not sure I've done an outro yet. No, I have not. So let's do that now. So my script here, I have an outro that I like these are my my dialogue text for when I get ready to do the voiceovers and all that fun stuff. So I have this all ready to go. And then I want a like an outro where Bello says something nice. Basically, like, here you go. This was from episode 26, where he says, "What's on your list of life's real treasures?" I can't talk today either, apparently. Leave a comment. Ideas, I want to hear what you guys think. What did the comic strip make you think? Does it, spark any memories or any thoughts? I want to interact. So it's a great way to get some interaction with comments. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, and I use, just so you know, if you haven't watched me before, I use AI as a writing partner, and I use it in a few other places, and you'll see as we're going along. But there's a decent amount of stuff that I have. I use Claude. It's like ChatGPT, but I think it's a little better for creative writing. So any of you guys who do creative writing, if you don't use it already, go check it out. It's a great tool. I know AI. I was kind of anti-AI for a bit there, and then I started using it as a tool, and it actually works pretty damn good. You gotta lead it. You gotta tell it the right prompts, and you gotta really work with it. But if you know what you're doing, you can get some really good work out of it. And the whole concept of, sure, I can tell AI, hey, write me a script for my comic today. I need a new episode. And sure, you could do that, and it'll write it for you, but it's gonna suck. It's gonna be bland, bottom of the barrel, everything that kind of sucks. It's not gonna have any personality. And that's where, I think we got to stop worrying about AI as much as we do, because it's not going to take over all of our jobs. Yeah, sure, it's going to do some stuff, but it's not going to be like the end of the world. So just like, sorry, I'll get back to it in a second, but when I first started graphic arts, we were still doing stuff by hand, like really old school. This was back in the, late 80s, early 90s, where computers were starting to take over. And, you could speed up your workflow so much with a computer and Adobe and all their, apps and stuff. And there was a couple other ones, but my point is that, you know, people were scared that it was, doing stuff on a computer was going to take over and we no longer needed graphic artists. Well, that was totally not true. Yeah, if you didn't evolve with the times and learn how to do it on a computer, and you still only did traditional like paste up and stuff, you were going to be out of a job. But if you keep up with the times, if you trained on a computer, now you're relevant again. Anyway, my point is, it's kind of like that with AI. So I use AI to help me write. Claude is my AI of choice. My was it LLM, large language model, and anyway, so I'm going to ask him to. Can you give me something relevant about the episode for engaging comments for Ep 27? And we'll see what he comes up. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes you got to tweak it. So I'll since it's pretty small on the screen, so I'll kind of read it out to you guys. Here are some engagement options for episode 27, the password security episode. That's right. What's your most ridiculous password requirement you've encountered? It's pretty decent. Anyone else stuck in subscription hell? Yeah, that's kind of a secondary thing that's in the. We'll see what the story's all about, so that'll make more sense in a minute. Password managers, lifesaver, or just another thing another thing to forget the password to. All right, that one's pretty funny. I like that one. Let's see what the other ones are, just to make sure we don't miss a good one. What's the most frustrating tech thing you deal with daily? Is digital security worth all the hassle? That's kind of on point with what the episode's about, but that's kind of boring too. What simple task does technology make unnecessarily complicated for you? That's pretty good if you want to yell at clouds, kind of, share your worst forgot my password story. Okay, that's pretty good because that's kind of the main focus, I think, of this. How many subscriptions? No. Anyone else feel like technology hates them personally? That's not bad. Yeah, you know what? All right, that's not bad, but I think I'm going to go with share your worst forgot my password story. We can always, mind you, we can always go back and tweak this, but I think I want to start with that. Share your worst forgot my password story in the comments. He forgot to mention that. I always want to make sure people know, hey, I want you to, comment and be part of the fun, be part of the action. And I'm going to tweak the text a little bit. So this is what I was saying, like my preset paragraph styles. What I did there is basically I'm taking a little bit of space out, adding a little bit of space in. The idea is to try to get that to line up really nice in the dialog box. So we got that, and I don't have to think about that now unless we go back and change it later. So I'm going to scroll back up. Sorry for hacking. We're out in Arizona, and right now it's our rainy season, our monsoon season, or kind of the end of it. So it rains a good amount, and that means all the plants are going bananas. It's almost like our springtime, really, when you think about it. So allergies just been crazy. So I've been hacking. That's why I'm hacking. And last week I was feeling like absolute garbage, but this week's a little better. All right, so we got that. We're good there. So now I'm going to go back to tweaking the artwork. The bottom stuff, the video panels, all those, we'll come back to those. I want to set this up first, and then we are going to come back and do. Actually, I should point that way. I'm looking at my screen on where you guys see stuff. So yeah, I'm going to fix that first, and then we'll go down towards the bottom and change the panels. So what I'm going to do now is, again, don't mind the background. These are all the panels from the previous comic, and we're going to change those. But to get started, what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust these. And then I want to know too, so this one, oh yeah, the first line is Avery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the triangle there, and I'm going to add the thought bubbles. Ah, why did it zoom like crazy? Sorry, let me zoom out. That was weird. I've got the Apple Magic mouse, and you know what? It is a really great mouse. It's a little funky ergonomically. A lot of people hate that part, but I've used it forever and I'm used to it. But it does have basically a trackpad on the top, so you can kind of zoom around with your finger instead of scrolling up and down and sideways. It just kind of goes where you want to it. But if you move a little too fast, it will scroll like it's on fire, and that's what just happened. Um, let's see. What are you so upset about, Bello? All right. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to take. You can kind of see how like it doesn't line up very well. Like I want it as close to the edge, all the lines if possible. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take upset about because that's like the widest part. I want those all 3, 4 lines to kind of have about the same width to them. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. I'm going to take the kerning or tracking, which is the space in between each letter, and I'm going to condense that. And then I'm also taking it down from, this is interesting for any graphic arts people, if anything. But I'm also going to take down the actual letters from 90%. I'm going to take them down to 80%, 85%, sorry. And then as you can see, that kind of tightened things up so I can make this dialog box a little narrower. And that one looks pretty good. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. This stuff is kind of boring, but it does give it a nicer feel, and it makes it easier to read too. So I kind of get this done first. And then, I like to read these too while I'm doing it because it helps me notice if there are any typos. By this stage, we shouldn't really have any, but some stuff might fall through the cracks. And I'm going to be sucking on a cough drop here. Hopefully that's not too noisy and annoying. Google says, what are you so upset about, Bello? Google says I have to change my clucking password again. I try to use clucking and other euphemisms for bad words to keep it PG-13. Anyway, I'm happy with those two, so I'm just going to keep going through here. Like I keep saying, you should get a password manager. And this has got some weird line breaks. Did you see that? And this is Avery too. So while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and swap the triangle for the bubbles, the thought bubbles, because Avery doesn't have a mouth, so he doesn't actually talk. They hear him normally. Like, if you read Garfield, it's kind of the same thing where you'll see thought bubbles, and even though John or whoever else can kind of hear them. Let's go ahead and open this one up. And sometimes, just to say it, I'm not sure we're going to have this problem today, but sometimes these lines just get way too big. And I have to go and rework them and cut them down. But I'm not sure if we'll have that problem today, but we'll see. Like I keep saying, what? Let's add the other thing. What are you so upset about, Bello? Like I keep saying, but let's add a little bit of a line here. Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that actually works a little better. See how everything lines up a little better on the sides here. And I do like adding that little bit extra in there. It's giving Bello a little bit more crap. You know what I mean? So I think it just adds a little bit more emotion. And that'll happen frequently when I'm at this stage. I will do tweaking and update lines. Sometimes when, I was working on the script and reading it, and I kept reading it, and it just seemed right to me. But then when I come back and I actually put it on the page, sometimes I notice like something just doesn't even make sense. Like we jump from one line of dialogue or thought to another, and we kind of missed a step between the two. So sometimes we'll have to tweak things, but we'll keep going. Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character. All right. And then Bello. That's exactly what I did. You know what? One thing too, just a note, side note here. I like adding their names in here. If you've read the comic book or the comic strip, you know these guys, you know the character names, and you know who they are. But if you're brand new to the comic strip and you haven't read all the previous ones, well, you might not even know their names. So I like repeating their names fairly often, just in dialogue, like you'd be talking to your buddy, and hey John, how's it going? You use their name. Kind of same thing kind of here. I don't want to like overdo it where it sounds weird, but I do like adding it in here. Because we said Bello here in the first one, which you should probably know it's Bello, considering it's he's a title character. It's called Bello Bear, and it's in Bello's Deli. So, but adding their names. Do we have? Okay, we do have Bubba. Bubba only has one line. He's in the last panel, so I might put in for Bello 4 for his dialogue in panel 4. I call it Bello 4. I might add in Bubba just to make sure we mention Bubba's name too. Anyway, that was a little bit of sidetrack there. That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it's not working. Let's give him an exclamation point because he is frustrated. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Tighten these up a little bit. We're going to go to 85. This one needs to tighten up a little bit too. Oh, and then I need to, I'm going to grab the thought bubbles. I'm going to swap those out. Basically, I'm just getting these dialogue boxes ready to go. So once I place art in there, we're just kind of fine tuning at the most. We should be pretty much set. Come on, you stupid thing! Oh, for the love of gravy! Calm down, Bello. Calm down, Bello. All right, see, this one sounds a little funky to me. Let me get this one lined up real quick. Come on, you stupid thing! Oh, for the love of gravy! Let's tighten this up. Again, first I take out some of the tracking or kerning, whichever you want to call it, and then if I need to, I'll make the fonts a little bit more narrow by taking out doing the 85%. And this, okay, I might have been wrong. We might need to cut some text, although I don't usually like to, but we could make this bring this down to 5 lines of text, which surprisingly enough actually works very well. Tink. Come on, Bello. Or come on, calm down, Bello. Sure, keep your bank safe. But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. Sure, keep your bank pass safe. I feel like I'm missing something. You know what I mean? This is what I was talking about just a minute ago, where you write it on the page and you read it 50 times and you're like, oh, this is good. And you come back and then you're like, did we miss something in translation? I feel like we need to change this a little bit. Sorry, we're gonna get. This is the first stumbling block we've had on this one. This happens pretty frequently though when I'm doing this, and this is kind of why I do it in multiple stages. Because if I just did it in one app and I think I'm good with it, and I never looked at it again like this, by copying and pasting, I wouldn't notice that this seems off. So let's see what we can do. You know what? Let me go to Claude. First of all, let me go. I know I tweaked something here, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste these. I can't remember exactly where I tweaked, but one thing I like to do is go back and copy from my graphics app back into my script. There, that's the one I changed. Let's make sure I didn't change another one. But anyway, I do this because I'm going to use this copy for my script to do my dialogue later on, and I need it to be 100% accurate from what I have. So I like, I tweak it in my graphics app, in my layout program, and then there's another one I changed. See how it changed size? and this one is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this. I'm going to copy this part of the script. I'm going to go to Claude. Hey, does Bubba's line seem like it's not working with the rest? And just see what he says. Get some feedback from Claude. You're right. Bubba line doesn't quite flow with Bello's frustrated outburst. There's a disconnect between immediate emotional frustration with password system, Bubba philosophical commentary about data security in general. The issue, Bubba's line feels like he's responding to a different conversation about data privacy. See, I'm not crazy. It's not just me. So let's see how we can rework this and make this work. I really do like the data breach thing because it's so true. We get all hyped up and crazy about passwords and are keeping our data safe, and it's stolen like literally every single day. And once it's out there, somebody puts it on the dark web, and then it's traded around and everything. So your info is probably stolen right now, and they just haven't used it yet. So let's see what he's got. I'm going to slide this over so I can see our line. Come on, you stupid thing. Oh, for the love of gravy. Easy there, bud. Take a breath and try again. I do like the easy there, bud. So I think maybe we'll use that. I do like that better than calm down, Bello. Easy there, bud. You know what? Let's see, because Claude is kind of taking me away from my original concept. So I want to see if we can actually kind of get back to it, because I don't want to lose that, because I think that's a good punchline to this thing. Can we keep Bubba's? Oh my God, I can't type today. I mean, I can't type any other day, but I'm really struggling for some reason. Can we keep Bubba's angle on data security, data password security? Wow, I really can't type. All right. What am I going to tell Claude what I want? Can we keep Bubba's angle on data password security, and also acknowledge Bello's, that's a typo there too, Bello's frustration. Wow, frustration. All right, he'll know what I'm talking about. All right, let's see what he comes up with. Here's some options. I hear you, Bello. All the security stuff is a pain, but at least your bank account is safe. Calm down, bud. I know it's frustrating. Yeah, he's kind of missing my point, I think. Easy there, bud. Password headaches beat something messing around with your money, though. Take a breath, bud. All the security nonsense is annoying, but your data is going to be stolen anyway, so. All right, that's more along the lines. I feel you, Bello. Pain in the rear. But gotta protect what matters. Everything else is going to get stolen anyway. Okay. Let's go with easy there, bud. Calm down, bud. Let's go with calm down, bud. You know what happens too a lot of times is I will use different parts of what Claude gives me. Like I think I like the way he says "calm down, bud." That's definitely something that seems like Bubba would say that. Calm down, bud. I'm going to slide this down just so I keep the original, and then we can come back to it if we need to. Let's go to protect. Calm down, bud. Protect what matters. Everything else is going to get stolen in the next data. Everything. Oh God, I'm struggling with this one. Come on, you stupid thing. It's just a. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm missing a more in Bello's line. What do you guys think? Um, Come on, you stupid thing. Calm down, Bello. All right, maybe that's what it is. Come on, you stupid. What's his last line? Use your guess. That's exactly what I did, and it's not working. Come on, you stupid thing. That is my new password. Oops, password. And I gotta open this dialog box up a little bit more. So what if we do that is my new password? Or maybe capital, that is my new password. All right, let's go back here. That'll make it a little easier. I'm gonna go ahead and do, sometimes it's easier too, like putting it back into my script and working on it there instead of seeing it visually. It's easier for me to focus on what I'm trying to say. And it kind of helps me think it out loud too, like it's actual dialogue. Sometimes that's easier. So like now that I'm reading it, like, come on, you stupid thing. That is my new password. So maybe password is what should be like, or is it that is? That is my new pass. Okay, let's go with, we'll keep it that way. And we're going to take off the exclamation point. I don't think we need it. I hear you, Bello. You know what? Keep the bank pass safe. Let's see. Keep the bank pass safe. Oh, come on. Safe. But everything else is getting, everything else. I think we can maybe do that. I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. Let's see how well that fits. It's still a little long, too. Yeah, it's about the same as far as length. I hear you. What if we take out the Bello? We know it's Bello. I hear you. You know what? Maybe if we add, come on, you stupid bank app. There we go. That is my new password. I hear you, bud. Wonder if, all right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to tweak. I'm going to go ahead and, again, this is where I'm trying to make sure it fits nicely in the box. I'm going to clear the overrides. We'll do that for this one too. Oh, that's already did good. Okay. So this one, let me go tweak this down. We'll see kind of how much space we got. We might be able to keep Bubba's line the way it is, or we might want to shorten it just because it's really long. Let's see if we can get this on 4 lines. That's another thing too. I really don't like going to 5 lines. That's a lot of words already. I hear you. All right, that's not too bad. Let's see if we can squeeze this bad boy down. Take out the do the tracking, and then I'm gonna squeeze that. Oh, hey, look at that. Now we're looking better. I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. All right, now we're keeping my line the way I wanted it. I think it's definitely more humorous, entertaining, and it fits. And we got there's no disconnect between Bello and Bubba. Like it's a continuing conversation. See, I zoomed again. If I don't keep 2 fingers on this stupid mouse, it goes flying. And the last thing I want to do with my dialogue is I want to line up my boxes. So when I'm having a conversation between 2 people, I want those dialogue boxes like really close to each other, since they're bouncing back and forth. So if I have to, I'll move them, but it makes it easier to read as far as being like a conversation between 2 people. All right, so I think we're good. So now let's move on to art. As you can tell, this is a long Sometimes frustrating process, but it's a bit of a labor of love. And I think the end result is really cool. So it's a lot of fun. And I'm getting good feedback. So people are liking Bello. I'm hoping you're liking it too. Hmm. Speaking of which, while we're at it, if you are not a fan of Bello, you're just catching me on a on a stream wherever you're watching. Um, Jump over to one of my basically go to any socials and look for Bello Bear Official. That's the official title of the page, and you can get all the daily comics. Sadly, no Twitch and Kick because I can't post daily stuff there. It's only live streams. Um, so hopefully they're not going to yell at me for telling you to, go follow me on my socials. But I'm pretty much on all of them. So just look for, like I said, look for Bello Bear Official, and I post the comics there daily, so you can get those for you. The only one I'm not on at this point is Facebook because they're jerks and they booted me off, even though I didn't do anything wrong. So you know what? Screw them. I'm not giving them my content. Anyway, that's enough ranting about that. Yes, we're going to art. All right, so when I do this, I like thinking about, I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can see it better. I'll slide this one over too, just to kind of give me a little more working space here. Our first lines, oh, before I forget, I would have, since we updated the lines, like I said, I always want to update my script. Usually I do this later in the process. Maybe that's what's throwing me off. Like once I'm 100% happy with the art, actually I'll share it. I'll export the image and I'll share it with Claude and then say, hey, double check this thing for any typos or something. But we should be good. And that's when I usually do my script update. But so let's see. First panel, we are talking between sorry, Avery and Bello. He's gonna be on the phone, so I gotta put him on the phone. What's up, puppy? My little girl Harley over here. She's looking at me like, "Who the hell are you talking to? Come here, bud. You want to come say hi? Gotta stretch first." Such a cutie pie. See, there she is. Look right there. Come here. Come. It's okay. Don't worry. Say hi. I got you. Come here. See, look. See right there. Everybody's right there. Say hi. Hello. That's Harley. Mwah. She's a sleepy pie. Okay, you want me to put you back down? She's really cute. She'll come lay on my desk while I'm working, and there you go, bud. And she'll like literally lay in front of my keyboard and my mouse, so I can't move and do anything. She's a little stinker, but she's awesome. She makes me smile every day, so I can't beat that. All right, so we're gonna have it's gonna be Bello, Avery, Bello, and Bubba. So I need to have them in the right spots. So let's go back to my graphics app. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this Bello because he was hanging the dollar, the commemorative dollar. So if you saw the last episode, I'm going to go ahead and move Avery over, and I'm also going to flip him. There we go. If you don't know, Avery, even though he doesn't have a mouth and eyes and all that fun stuff, technically he does have a face. This center leaf is his face, and he doesn't really have emotion necessarily, like, he doesn't have eyebrows or anything, but I can move his face around a little bit. So if he's looking up, he's kind of paying attention to you. If he's looking down, he might be kind of like, what are you doing kind of attitude. So I think I'm going to keep him about there. But we can always tweak him later. Like I said, he doesn't really have emotion or doesn't really show emotion, but just having that the leaf be able to move around, it's almost like a sock puppet. Hello, it's kind of like that same idea. At some point, I might add more to Avery, so maybe he's got like a leaf that kind of hangs over like on the top of his head, so that can go up and down, so he almost has like eyebrows or something. I haven't really figured that out, but we'll come back to that at some point. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to get my buddy Bello here, and we are going to give him a phone. This is my character sheet, by the way. If any of you guys do animation, you'll kind of recognize this, where I can take bits and pieces to put them together, different mouths, different eyes, um, and to give them expression and what have you. So what I'm going to do, is we're going to take, we're going to give him another arm. Oh, and I want to flip him because he's going to be looking the other direction, talking to Avery. Slide that over. The way I have it right now is like his body is one piece with the legs, and then I do the arms. Usually I don't move the rest of them that much. Most of it's the upper body, so I tend to just keep the rest of his body kind of locked together. It makes it easier for recreating these. But I do have like other feet too. Oh yeah, he's got one with a cape. That's a future episode. Like this one here, you can see he's got walking feet, and there's a totally different one just where he's kind of sitting down. Anyway, so I'm going to move that arm backwards. So now it's behind him. I am going to grab the phone, put that there. I'm going to get rid of that arm. And so now he's on his phone. I do want, because he's not a happy camper. Let's see, what's his line? Google says I have to change. Oh, you know what? We need to change Google if we're talking about a bank app later on. Shoot. I'm glad I noticed these things. All right, I'm going to take the low, what I call the low mouth. It's kind of like from good to worst, if you will. I've got the high, laughing, smile, super happy mouth, and I've got the medium, which is like a happy, smiling mouth, and the neutral in between. Obviously, I've got low, and then I've got down or mad or sad, and those are kind of my basis for all of my expressions. I'm going to put that here. We're going to flip that because it's facing the wrong direction. Slide it over just a hair, and I think, I don't know, I might give him some eyebrows. And then, you know what, I do have this super angry expression right here, this one. I think we'll use that panel too, probably. So I'm going to go ahead and give him some eyebrows. These are kind of a little bit lower. Copy, move up, paste. I'm going to flip this. All of my pieces down there, they're all kind of going in the other direction. So this is kind of like he's a little grumpy, you can tell, right? So I'm going to go ahead and grab him. Now we're going to set him up. I'm going to go ahead and copy, and we are going to go paste, and I'm on the wrong layer. Let's see. This one should be, I have different layers too. So like behind this, behind the host stand, and that's going to be level 3. There we go. See, now he's behind. He is in front of Bubba, but that's okay. We're going to send him backwards. And then I think he needs to come down a little bit. He should be just a hair taller than Bubba. So, and then I know we just did, this is supposed to be in the background. You know, the last episode we had this dollar on the wall, but since we're not really talking about the dollar in this episode, I am gonna, you know, some of them are, where's the dollar? Well, it's still there, but I'm gonna move the TV over. So because it's, if you look, the phone is kind of getting lost against the TV. It's there, but you really have to pay attention and like, what is he looking at? But if I move the TV behind Avery, I think that'll work a lot better. And I know the dollar's out of the screen, but that's okay, because we're seeing like the whole thing, where in the actual comic you're not going to see all that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and save. This is going to be our starting point for all the panels in this comic. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come back to, I deleted my text. There we go. We're going to come back in here. I'm going to select that first panel. And then what I do is I just change the link to the background, or to my panel 1, which is going to be in folder 27, password 1234. And then here is panel 1. It's the file name is the same. So it's episode 27, password 1234, and then I do space 1. And I do that for all 4 of the different panels. And we're going to go ahead and open. Usually we got to slide this around a little bit, depending on where the characters were. My focus is going to be, since Avery and Bello are the ones talking here. Let me hide this to show you a little bit better. Zoom in a little bit more. I know if you're looking at this on your phone, it's going to be pretty small. So we're going to slide these over. And we're going to put them. Usually I try to kind of center them if possible in the panel. That looks pretty good. If not, it's okay. It doesn't have to be centered, but you know, your focal point is right in the middle. So I kind of want to make it easier for your eye to move around, see everything in the scene. Then you're going to read, you know, top left to bottom right, like we do in the Western world. So you're going to read from there down to there. So your eye just naturally flows. It makes it really easy and comfortable for your eye to see what you're looking at. I think that looks pretty good. The TV is a little bit to the side, which is annoying me. Oh, it's really close to the edge. So I'm going to slide it over just a hair. I'm going to slide his thought bubbles over. Bello's voice triangle is pretty good. I'm going to nudge it over just a hair. And then Bubba's in the scene, but, you know, he's not talking, so he's just slightly off to the right, which is fine. That's how I want him, because we're, you know, we know he's not saying anything, so there's no reason for him to get prominent placements. It's always focusing, you know, 99 out of 100 times, I will have two people or 2 characters talking, and I want them to be front and center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same frame, because that's going to be my starting point for the other, or my other panels. I'm going to move those in here. Oh, and then one thing I got to do, this is a weird little thing, but if you can tell, the space between the top of the TV and the dialog box is a little bit higher in the top one. And it's just the way I have it set up with, I can't really point, but with the center margin here, I'm wondering if I point there. No, it doesn't work. Let me zoom in. So this center white bar is not exactly the same, because it's centered in between these 2 panels. So where my dialog boxes line up here, it's the same as up here, but because this white bar isn't exactly at the top of this box either, my art in the background needs to slide up. That's what I'm trying to say. It's really way too much info to be saying, I just got to move this box up a little bit. So I try to make it match the top one pretty darn close. And I do this for the video version, because in that one, since it's so narrow, we end up sliding around that panel, like with the camera. If you pretend my hands are the camera, we slide around. So I want to make sure things line up the same way. And if I didn't do that, as you're going from panel 2 to 3 in the video version, you'd see the image bounce up and down, and it's very just awkward, and makes your eye pays attention to it, and it looks like an error, which it would be. Anyway, so I do those, and now you can see we've got a good starting point. We got to tweak it some more. So while we're in here, actually, I'm going to go ahead and center these guys. I'm going to do the same thing. You probably can't see it on your screen, but I have guidelines set up here that help me center this stuff and get people placed up in the right spot on the panel. All right, so we got that. So next we're going to do panel 2. We're going to create the artwork. We're moving right along. This is all part of the process. And mind you, I've not automated, but I've refined this so much to make this as fast as humanly possible for me to put these out every day. But it's still a boatload of work. It never gets any faster or any easier. All right, so let's see. Next one's Avery and Bello again. That's right, Bubba's only in the last one. So let's tweak these guys. And one thing, if you're an animator or you do comics or anything, one thing, you know, even if it's even if there's nothing, no action going on in the background, you don't want your characters in the same spot. Just like if you and I were standing in front of each other having a conversation, or sitting next to each other on the couch, whatever. I'm going to lean towards one side. I'm going to have my hand up, talking. I might itch my nose because my allergies suck. There's movement. Even if it's not a ton, there's movement. You don't want your image to look exactly the same from panel to panel. So I'm going to do, I know Avery can't move, but I'm going to go ahead and move him anyway, just a little bit. Bello, we're gonna change his eyes and stuff, but I'm also gonna move his arms and his phone, like he's changing, like he's looking like, why is this not working? So he lifted up his phone a little higher. I'm gonna do the same thing with his head. We're gonna grab all the pieces, and I'm gonna go ahead and rotate his head a little bit, like he's looking closer. See? And what's his line here? But then I have this another description. Pluck. Pluck. It won't accept the one on the new one. Oh yeah, and before we get too crazy, let me go ahead and finish what I'm doing with this one. What I should have done is, as soon as you start working on a panel, a new panel, save it. So this is gonna be panel 2. I should have done that right from the get-go, because if you forget and you hit the save button because you're trying to hurry up and you're still in panel 1, then you got to go fix it, and it's a pain in the ass. Glad I thought of that. Let's go ahead and get Bubba moved over, or changed up a little bit. He's going to look up a little bit towards Bello. Oh my God, I'm going to be doing this all day to you guys. I apologize. My nose is just itchy from the allergies. We are going to go, and I can go ahead and delete this Bello from here. I am going to go to Bubba. I'm going to grab this arm, and I'm going to flip that. That can go right there. And this one is kind of like he's starting to lift his arm up a little bit. And you kind of can't see with the cam the way it's set up. But I want him to almost be like wanting to say something like, Bello, kind of like that. Like he wants to say something to him, but he doesn't. Anyway, so let's go ahead and save that. Let's see, use your usual. That's exactly what okay, I'm going to use the angry eyes. Remember I showed you those? I'm going to use those on panel 3. I think that'll work better. Anyway, let's go ahead and save. And we are going to grab that panel. I'm going to go to my links and select. I'm going to use panel 2. And it's just going to see how everything shifted a little bit. It just pops it in there for us. I think that works pretty good. Oh, I didn't move Avery, but that's okay. I think he's fine where he's at. The one thing I want to go back and focus on right now is, instead of Google, since we talk about bank later, it only makes sense for us to say bank here. My bank says I have to change my password. I have to change my clucking password again. All right, let's make sure I change that in the script. I could do this later, but since I'm here, no. Oh, I'm grabbing the wrong line. I'm grabbing Avery's, replacing Avery's bank. What are you so upset about, Bello? My bank says I have to change my plucking password again. Okay, this is working out much better. Get rid of the whole Google angle. This continues the story well. All right, so we're good there. So we got 2 panels. Let's go back to Illustrator. We're going to go ahead and save as. Like I said, do this right away or you'll forget, and then you're screwed because you got to redo something. It's really freaking annoying. I've done it plenty of times. I've been doing graphic arts for, oh my God, like 35 plus years. I officially started in 1990 when I finished school. That was like I officially started, but I was doing work before that while I was in school, and also even before I wanted to do graphic arts. I was like in print shop at my high school for like 3 of the years I think I was there, and my dad ran his own little newspaper for a while out in LA. So I would go in there and do some, learn some paste up and stuff. And so I've been doing graphic arts for a long time. Anyway, what was I going to say about that? I think it's just because I don't know, something about graphic arts. I'm losing it. All right, so this is going to be panel 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these. I'm going to get rid of that mouth. I want him to be pretty fired up in this one. So we're going to go back to our character pieces here, and I'm going to grab the super angry eyes and the very mad mouth, or upset mouth. Sad. It could be sad. It could be angry. It's a very emotional mouth. So let's get that there. I know it's overlapping his hands, but that's okay. Keeps sliding around. That's my magic mouse keeps doing that. Like I'll drag it somewhere and then it'll move again. I think it's because I don't have 2 fingers on it. Sometimes I'm just using, like, hovering my fingers above it and not having them on the mouse. I think that's why it does that. So now I'm going to bring the phone down again a little bit. I need to bring that hand to the front. Let's move the phone a little. Again, you want to like move stuff around because you're never staying perfectly in one place. That mouth needs to move over just a little bit. God, he looks really angry. Poor Bello. I know how he feels. All right, we're gonna grab Avery's leaf. Now he's gonna start looking downward a little bit, like, Bello, what are you doing? It's like I said, he doesn't really have real emotion, but it's a little closer. I'm gonna make his leaf just a hair taller. Fits a little better there. Bubba, I'm gonna move his arm just a little higher, like he really wants to say something. And not quite. Come on. There we go. All right, I want to move that just a little bit. It's still going to be below the counter a little bit. Like it's starting to come up. I wonder if we should change. Usually I don't like giving them different mouths. If they're not talking, they're just kind of more of a blank look on their face. You know what? Let's go with this because, again, the focus is on panel 3, save. The focus is on Avery and Bello at this point. So we're going to go ahead and change this. I'm going to update it with the new panel 3 I made. Dink. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Let's get our voice bubbles. I'm going to move this over a little bit more since he's kind of looking down. Triangle can go that way. I think that looks pretty good. This one's going pretty smooth today, I gotta say. Usually these things take forever. Sorry I keep scratching my nose. I'm not picking it though. I know what you were thinking. Oh, the tea helps. We got that. And then next is what I'm going to do here, just so we can kind of see what's going on, because remember the basic layout is the same and the characters are kind of in the right spot. I am going to go and we're going to do this because now we're going to be talking between Bello and Bubba. So let's go back to Illustrator. I'm going to do my save as. Remember, always save as, so you don't mess up anything, you don't lose it. And then what I'm going to do is, since it's going to be Bubba and Bello now, I'm going to flip him over. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the phone now because you should be paying attention to Bubba. Go ahead and slide that phone down a little bit. Might even get rid of the second arm. Get rid of the super angry eye. Well, I might keep the super angry eyes. What's our line again? Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password. All right, maybe he's not quite as angry. I think I'm going to get rid of... All right, I'm going to do an executive decision here. I'm kind of doing this out of order, which is a setup for screwing something up. But I'm going to go ahead and take out the exclamation point there. I want him to calm down just a hair. All right, let's go back to Illustrator. And I am going to change out his eyeballs. So we're going to go with... We might go with the low. I kind of use the low eyeballs. Sometimes for being like upset. Sometimes it's more sleepy. Sometimes, like in this case, he's more exacerbated than anything. Let's see how he looks with the down eyebrows. We might play with this just a little bit. So I'm going to go, yeah, see, he looks kind of exacerbated there, if that's the right word. Ooh, don't like the super angry eyebrows. He looks really mad. Let's try the low. Those are a little bit more subtle. Try, whoop. Let me zoom in there and grab that without doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, all right. So like his eyes are a little bit more narrow. You can tell he's not a happy camper. Something's bugging him. We may go with, I think I'm going to keep that mouth. Let's rotate that just a little bit. Okay, why is it not rotating? Hello? Usually it should, oh, it's just not showing up with the little rotate symbol. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to slide it up just a hair. And save. And I'm going to go ahead and place this into panel 4. And like I was saying before too, having this in different apps makes this a whole lot easier. Because just imagine, so even though I have layers set up in Illustrator, I'm going to go back there and I'll kind of show you. Even though I have different layers for different stuff, like the background is one layer, this table is on a different layer, the host stand in the front, the desk is on a different layer. So it's already pretty complicated. So if I had to take all of this stuff, if I was doing this all in one panel, I would have all of these elements on every single panel, for every single panel, and they would be overlapping each other. And I could add a, I could put a box on there, and basically apply a mask so all the stuff outside of the back so you don't see. But then if I had to move something around from one panel to another, and I try to grab whatever's in the background, it's really easy for that to get screwed up. So it's much easier for me to focus on one panel here in Illustrator and then bring it into Adobe InDesign and be able to control it much easier and not have something get all wonky and screwed up. So anyway, let's take a look at, so one thing I do see, which I'm not that happy about, is where the dialogue is. I'm going to probably, like I had mentioned, I like having it centered, but because Bubba's line is so damn long, I'm going to move that over. I'm going to put the triangle just above, kind of, I usually try to put it kind of above his ear. It's not perfectly centered, but it seems to work pretty good. Bellows, I might actually slide on, do over his left ear. The idea being that I want the action centered. So Avery, I might move, I was going to say I could move Bello over, but that doesn't really work either. Let me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Bubba over. And if you didn't notice, he stands on a box because he's a short guy, and he's got extra tall boots. And I see I'm actually missing a piece of one of his left boot. It doesn't matter here because we don't see it, but I'm wondering what happened there. So I'm going to slide him over a little bit. I'm also going to rotate him a little bit, just a hair forward. And then I do kind of want these guys to have eye contact. So I'm going to move his eyeballs up just a little bit. And I'm thinking Bellows should move up just a little bit too. So he's kind of looking at his phone, but he's kind of looking at Bubba at the same time. So let's go ahead and we'll hit save. It's going to update in here. We'll hit sometimes it automatically updates. Sometimes you just got to hit the refresh button. And we're going to slide his voice triangle over just a hair. There we go. I think that works pretty good. The only thing I've want now, one thing I forgot is I forgot to actually have Bubba talking. So let's go change out his mouth. What does he say? I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. All right, he's kind of snarky. It's either neutral or happy. I don't know. Let's grab both and see what it looks like. I like I can tell you already, I like the smiley one a little better because he is kind of making fun of, hey, don't be mad about this because your shit's going to get stolen anyway. So the question is, do I want eyebrows I think I kind of do. I'm going to use the same ones I got on Bello right now. Flip. They're right like on his, oops, they're right by his mustache. I don't know, pasted it there for some reason. Let's see, we're going to give it, I'm going to move his eyes down just a hair. And we're going to move his down. You know, I might get rid of one of their eyebrows. Seems like it's too much. Because the idea is it helps you kind of focus on one character's emotion. If they both have them, then yeah, let's get rid of Bubba's or Bellows, sorry. Save, go back, refresh. Yeah, that's much better. Now your focus is on Bubba's line because he's kind of bringing it all home. He's the one giving us the punchline. I'm still not super happy with the text, the dialogue, the way it's fitting. I do have some room above them here, so I think what I'm going to try, just for sake of argument, if we can get a decent, break, I'm going to go to 5. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not a huge fan of doing that. Let me clear the overrides, paragraph styles, clear overrides. Whoa, that kicked it over. I'm not a big fan of doing the 5-line dialogue box because it's a lot of copy for one character to say. But in this case, I think we kind of need it. Let's see, maybe I can pull out a word or two just to tighten this up. I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. Sure. You know what if we go sure? Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. I wish that would break a little bit better. This is one of the annoying things too. Like I've got these, like everything is a big word, and it's kind of stopping it from the lines breaking a little better. See how it goes down there? It's really frustrating. And you try to kind of find the best way. Like there's no way I'm going to leave this right now the way it is with anyway being on its own line. That's just stupid. Let's see. You know what? Let me go back instead of the sure. I hear you. I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen, and everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach. Anyway, I don't know. You know what? We might just have to make this work somehow. I mean, I hear you. I hear you, Bello. You know what? Let's try that. Sometimes adding an extra word will kick stuff down and we can kind of better. I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank. I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank pace. What would you say? Password. That makes more sense anyway. I hear you, Bello. Okay, what if we get rid of this part? Those are all fitting, except for the very last one. Those lines are all fitting pretty good. So I think we might go with this. I hear you. Keep the bank password safe. But everything else. What if we do? Okay, I'm just going to try it. Keep the bank password safe. Everything else. Okay, I was hoping maybe that would kick the word next up a line, but it's not. So I hear you. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. Is there another word for anyway? Getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. I don't know. Let's go ask our buddy Claude. Where you at, Claude? There you are. Hey, bud. Updating this line. Any other words for anyway? Let's see what Claude has to say. Sometimes I'll come up with something like, "Oh, thank God." Um, can you guys even hear the music? Oh, yeah, it's showing up on my audio mixer. I always have something going. I tend to stick with. I literally listen to everything, but for this kind of work, I tend to stick with EDM because it just keeps me going and upbeat, and there's no words or anything to get you distracted either. So it works out good for that. So let's see. I hear you. Anyway, okay, that's interesting. The sooner or later version. He says, "I hear you. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen the next data breach sooner or later." So let's try that. And the reason I like it is because um, we might get the line breaks a little better or not. I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen the next data breach sooner or later. Okay, that didn't help me because it's long too. Um, I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. I think we're going to just have to stick with it. Let me squeeze some space out of this with shorter tracking, smaller tracking, and I'm also going to, and I got a weird break there. How the heck did I do that? All right, let's start. Maybe I need to start trimming at the top. Try to keep the, gonna go 85. Take the tracking out of that. We got the tracking out of there. Ah, it kicks up the next. That's what it is. That's all right. We're gonna move it down back now, right now. All right, there we go. It's not perfect, but I'm much happier with that. And I know it's such a subtle, small thing to sit here and worry about and probably just spent 10, 15 minutes on it, but it makes it easier to read and it's smoother and works better. So, but with that said, let's take a look at the whole thing. I think we might be good to go. And next we got to move on to the video portion. We're not done yet. See, this stuff takes forever. All right. What are you so upset about, Bello? My bank says I have to change my clucking password again. Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager. But then I have yet another subscription and pluck. It won't accept the new one. Use your usual 123 bear and add or 1234 bear and add a special character. That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it's not working. Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password. I hear you, Bello. Did I miss? I think we're good. I was thinking to myself, is it kind of weird that Bellows are all of a sudden turned, but he does interact with Bubba there, so I think we're fine. I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway. Okay, so next, what we're gonna do, I think we're good. We could probably mess around with it some more, but we've already got a couple hours in here, and we still need to do the video version, and we got a decent amount of work there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export my files as PNGs, and here's my file. You know what? I'm going to leave that there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show it to Claude. Here's the final. Any typos? Any typos or issues? I have him basically a double check and proof my work. Having a second, third, fourth pairs of eyes is always a good thing. I've got an infamous story about when I was working for Time Warner Cable a long time ago. I don't think they're even time. It's now Spectrum or whatever. But I was doing setting up all the local advertising. It was when I was in San Diego. So all the stuff you would get locally, not from the the national, but the local branch. You get in the mail sign up for cable, get internet for free, or whatever the stupid deal is. They always have deals. Somehow, some way, I got the wrong phone number on there, and I don't remember at the time if it was copy that was given to me, or if I actually typed it in wrong, which it seems more like the first one would be the most likely culprit. But anyway, bottom line is we pass that thing around to 10 different people internally in the design department, like in the marketing department, and then we'd even have a few people in the sales department who answer the phones, look at it. Everybody missed it. So anyway, the moral of the story there is double, triple check and get 4, 8, 12 sets of eyes on this thing just to make sure everything's right. And you still probably will have a typo at some point. So anyway, I have Claude take a look. I upload the final artwork to him, and then he takes a look. Looking through episode 27, I don't see any typos. Woo! The dialogue flows well, and the character voices are spot on. And he usually gives me kind of a critique. I take it with a grain of salt. It's AI. It's going to kind of blow smoke up your ass and tell you, be happy. Claude seems pretty good, though, because he will mention something once in a while, and I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't notice that. Oh, wait, so he does have a little note here. Small note. The flow from Bello's angry outburst to Bubba's calm respond works well now. It feels like Bubba is genuinely trying to help Bello put things in perspective rather than just making unrelated commentary. Oh, okay. So he agreed, with that it was off, but now it works much better. So, woohoo. All right. So we're good there. Now we're going to get to prepping this thing for the video version. Oh. All right, so what I'm going to do, oh God, I shouldn't crunch ice because the microphone is right by my face. Sorry about that. I'll try to remember that. I'm going to grab panel 1, and now we're going to go to, so for my video, this is my intro panel, the very beginning, where he says, hello, I'm Bello, this is episode 27, episode 27, password 1234, as in that's the title. I wonder if I should put quotation marks around that. No, I don't really need to. Yeah, let's not make it more complicated than it needs to. Anyway, and so this is how I make the comic, the video version of the comic, which I finally came up with a good name, Watch Along Comics. And because that's kind of what you're doing, you're hearing all the audio and it's not like a full-on cartoon. You're still watching a comic. So yeah, I came up with that. It ties into some other thing too that I'll dive in another time. I'm trying to keep myself focused and moving. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. So I go ahead and I paste my panel 1 in here. I am going to get rid of the second dialogue here, second box of dialogue. I only have one box of dialogue for each panel when it comes to the video version. I'm going to go ahead and paste again. We're going to get this kind of centered in here. I'll go back and move stuff around, but this is just kind of prepping me. So frame 1, or not frame 1, because it's going to be there for more than, a second, but just, visual panel 1, I guess, is going to be panel 1 for the video version is just Avery's dialogue. And then panel 2 is going to be Bello's dialogue. And we're going to do the same thing with all the other panels from the 4-panel version. So I'm going to scroll down, paste, slide that there, delete that there, and I do shrink it 90%. The reason I do this is to give myself some extra room because we're going from nice and wide in the 4-panel version, nice square box, to a very narrow in the video version. So by shrinking it down, I give myself a little bit of playroom to make this work a little better. And you'll see what I mean shortly here. We're going to go adjust these, and we have some more work to do to make this work for the video version. So that's panel 2 done. I'm going to go up, grab panel 3, panel paste. Oh, and this one is interesting too. So I don't know if you can see the guides on here or not, but because remember I had to adjust the bottom 2 panels on the 4-panel version because they don't line quite right. So I actually had to move stuff up. In this version, I have to move it back down. And so I go ahead and do that here. So the dialogue, lines up again. And I'm going to move this. I'm going to move these boxes, the parameters of the box up a little bit. All right, so copy, and we're going to go ahead and delete. I'm going to shrink it 90%. This gives me a little playroom, like I mentioned. I'm going to paste that here. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to delete that one. And we're going to go back up. Oh, well, that's all right. We'll do it on the way back down. I forgot to make it 90%. So I'm going to copy panel 4. Zip. Oh, so go back down. This one, we got to shrink 90%. Sure, I would have noticed sooner or later, but do it now, get it done. All right, and we got to do this again. This one again has to shift a little bit. So our dialogue has to go down just a hair from where we were on the top. Let me zoom in. It's hard to get it right on the guideline. Come on! Close enough. Doesn't want to line up perfectly for some reason. That's all right. We'll never notice. Oh, wait. Too early. I got to move this up. Now copy, since I moved that, and then I can delete the dialogue, shrink this 90%. It's involved. There's a lot of stuff you got to do and remember to get this thing all perfect. I try to automate this as much as I can. Not automate, but just kind of be able to do this on autopilot as much as possible, but it's still pretty easy to miss something. So, and then, oops, and then our final, and this is we already did. This is where we pasted in what our, Bello's going to say to try to get some comment engagement at the end. So now we're going to go back up. We're just going to leave all those the way they are, and we are going to make these fit better into what is essentially about half the size of what we have above. I want to keep this here for you just so you can see. So I'm going to move the box in to snap to the size of the page. I'm going to zoom out just a hair. So you can see how much tighter it is compared to the 4-panel version, like our art. It is so much smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over. Bubba's going to get a little more cut off. Since this is Avery's line, kind of our focus is a little bit more on him. We definitely need to keep him and Bello in the shot, in the screen, cropped, because those are the two that are interacting. Bubba is not really interacting, but we do want to know that he's in the same room, that he's part of this whole thing. So what I'm going to do now is the other thing we got to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this, edit original. So I'm going back into Illustrator. This is our original file. Again, we're going to do a save as, and this is going to be panel 1, but we're going to call this add video 1, V1 to it. And go ahead and hit save. Oh God, my nose itches for stupid allergies. I'm sorry, I keep rubbing my nose. I'm not picking it though, I swear. We're going to go ahead and delete Bello's mouth because he's not talking in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the generic mouth. I can just use the same one from Bubba. Makes it easy. Go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to InDesign. And like before, we're going to go to links. And then we're going to change out the link. And you'll see, here's V1. That's the one we want. Hit update. And now he's got a closed mouth. So he's not talking in the frame. I don't want him to have an open mouth. And then we're going to go to basically the video, panel 1, V2, if you will. This one, I pretty much can leave as is. Don't have to do anything. Bello's in the middle. He's talking. We still see both the other characters, and we'll leave it at that, which makes it really nice and easy that I don't have to tweak that. We are going to have to tweak it, though. We're going to do the same thing for panel 2, V1. So let me slide that over. And then this one, let me go back up. One thing I like to do is I like to figure out kind of where I'm cropping. So that way, the next frame that we see kind of based on the left side of Avery talking is going to be centered or fit about the same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it and go, see the book right here, the edge of the book. I'm going to zoom in for you since if you're on a phone, it's really small. Right here, the edge of the book, I'm going to look at that, and it's about the same height. Like if you took this little piece and you flipped it sideways, that's about the same spacing between here. Anyway, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to go back down to this one, and I'm going to move this over so it's in about the same spot. Visually, it's much better for you in the video version if I do that. Then Avery, he's kind of looking up. I think I'm going to change his leaf in this one slightly, so that way the dialog box or the dialog bubbles line up better. And then obviously I need to take the mouth off of Bello, or close his mouth. So we're going to go edit original. Go ahead and do save as. Always save as. We can call that V1. Save. And I need to change his mouth. I'm going to swap that out. Let's zoom in a little bit. And slide this over. I think I'm going to take out his eyebrows there too. And then Avery, we're going to shift his face, his leaf face. It's a leaf face. I was going to move him. Oh, there's one behind him. So there's like actually 3 layers. There's this layer, there's the second layer on the left, and then there's one behind it too, which is the thick outline. So I got to grab all 3. So I'm going to move that leaf down a little bit. We made it V1, so I'm just going to go ahead and save. Command S. I love using shortcodes too, or short commands to speed up my workflow. And now we're going to go and we got to change this. So this is still the original panel 2. We're going to change it to the V1 panel version. There we go. You automatically saw his leaf shift over. I'm going to move the bubbles over a little bit. And we are good. So we got that one done. Next one up. So this is going to be, what is this, panel 2V2. I'm going to go ahead and make sure this lines up with my page. And Bello's going to be, his dialogue should be in the center since he's the center of the 2 characters. Sorry. We're going to slide him over again since he's kind of the middle point. Let me see where I cut it off last time. Okay, we got a tiny little space in between Avery's flower pot and the edge. So I think what I'm going to try to do is get that very similar. That's pretty close right there. We can go over just a hair. And then we need to, let's move over his Bello's voice triangle so it looks like it's coming from his head. Let me just double check. I did not center that. Okay, I'm glad I looked. So I want to center his voice bubble. That's better. All right, and then we're good. We don't need to do save an extra video version of this one. I think it fits well. The character, all 3 of them fit in that space pretty well. I think we're good. So next up, this is going to be panel 3. Again, we're going to do the same thing. A lot of this stuff is very monotonous and just little detail work. This is another one where I think we're pretty close. I think we had this move over a little bit. It's that space between the book and the edge. There we go. That's about where we had it. We're going to slide over his dialogue, move over the bubble. I think we're good with where his leaf and stuff is. The only thing we need to change here is Bello because he's got the open mouth like he's talking. So let's select that file. We're going to hit edit original. If it was something besides Illustrator or some other random app that Adobe doesn't recognize, you could say edit with and then pick your app, but I'm just doing edit original since it is Illustrator. And so I think we're here. I think we're going to keep let's wait with the dial. Whoops, hide that. Let's go to my dialogue. Use the usual. That's exactly what I did, Avery. Okay, we're not going to do the mad eyes yet. I think we're going to go with the small. Nice walkies. That's my alarm for walkies for the bear. For our little puppy, she's ready to go walkies usually, but we took her early since I knew I was going to be streaming. And it's raining outside, so didn't want to get stuck out there. I'm going to go ahead and try these eyes. Oh, I'm going to close some of these out too. We're not working. Sometimes in the hurry of things, if you have other panels open and you don't think about it, all of a sudden you tweak something on a panel you didn't mean to, and then you got to go fix it afterwards. So I like closing some of the other panels. Let's put the mouth there. Okay, that looks pretty cool. And I forgot to do V1. Save. Let's do the save as. I'm glad I noticed it. And this is part of the monotony of doing this and having all these steps. It's easy to forget something. And you know, with 35 plus years of doing graphic arts, I've gotten pretty damn good at making sure I can do this stuff and not miss something and screw something up. But like I said, it's, you know, I'm almost automating myself. So it's gonna be panel 3v1. Dink. All right, I like that. That works pretty good. Now we're gonna do, the nice thing is we don't have to do anything. Sometimes, like, so if this was like, if they were in a different position, as far as on the three characters were in a different position, but we have them framed pretty nicely. So this one is pretty easy. We don't have to make an extra video like a V2 panel. We can just use the original panel 3 from up above. But sometimes we do have to make extra panels too. So you'll have to do like a V1 and a V2. More time, more stuff to do. Just pain in the ass. All right, that's exactly what I did, Avery. It is not working. This all looks really good to me. And we'll have to do one more for panel 4. So we're going to do a V1 panel for panel 4. And then, you know what? We may have to do 2, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But let's see. Maybe not. Let's slide these guys over. So Avery can be kind of off to the side here a little bit more, since he's not talking. We still see him in the frame, kind of like Bubba was in the other ones. So we're gonna go there. We're definitely gonna have to do a V. Yeah, we are gonna have to do V1, V2 for this because Avery doesn't have a mouth when he's talking, so we were able to get away with it. In this one, they are both talking, so we're gonna have to do V1 and V2. So let's do a whoops, wrong button. I'm trying to hurry up with key commands too fast. I meant to hit edit. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of the mouth. I think we can get rid of the eyebrows. The focus is on Bubba here, or Bello Bubba. I named them all too many. There's too many B ones, and I forgot to hit save as. Damn it! I gotta remember to do that. V1. And we're gonna put the neutral mouth on him. Rotate it just a hair. V1 save, yes. Then we're going to replace it in InDesign. This stuff is seriously monotonous, but you got to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to look right. Like in my very first couple of video ones, or at least the very first one, I think, I didn't replace the mouths. And I looked at it after the fact once I'd already posted it on socials, and I was just like, oh, this sucks. And, you know, it looks fine. Most people probably aren't going to notice it, but it bugged me. So I'm going to do it right. All right, so we got that. And then one thing I'm going to do here too is, oh no, never mind. I don't need to do that. Ignore what I was going to say since I didn't say it. And we're going to line these guys up. Let's see about, where do we have it lined up? I want to try to make sure this is centered kind of the same way. Let's look at the bottom book of Avery. Yeah, so we got to slide this over a little bit. We want to kind of match what we have above. Actually, what am I talking about? We want to move this over even more because now the focus is on Bubba. Wow, okay, let's try that again. I think actually where we had it right from the get-go is pretty good. I'm going to slide this dialog box over, and then we're going to go edit, original. What I should have done last time, we're going to do save V2. So in this case, we do have 2 video panels. I'm going to go ahead and close these again. I'm probably not going to mess anything up, but it's worth doing. Going to get rid of that. I think this definitely needs a sad mouth. A lot of times I'll just do the neutral mouth. But in this case, Bubba is definitely not having fun, so, or Bello. Bella's not having fun, so I'm going to give him the sad mouth. And a lot of times too, in this one, I'm not, just to mention it, a lot of times I will change their expressions or their movements of their arms and stuff too. In this one, I'm not. I think we're okay with how we are. Where's V2? There it is, V2. So, you know what? Maybe I will. I'll show you what I mean. Like, I'll move their arms and their heads a little bit. In this one, I think I can move his arm down a little bit, his phone down a little bit more, because he's kind of paying attention. You know, first one, he was kind of yelling out loud. And the second one, he's actually paying attention to Bello. So I do want him to kind of focus on Bello a little bit. Or I keep switching them, focusing on Bubba. Go ahead and hit save. Gonna hide that. We're gonna go and update that in here. See, just a subtle thing. So if we go from panel, this panel V1, he's got the phone about there, so he's still paying attention to it. He's starting to look up at Bubba, but then in the second one, you can definitely tell he's focused on Bubba. So I think we're good in the other ones. I'm not gonna go too crazy. It's already 4:11. And we still have some work to do. So let's go ahead and hit save. I think we're all good. I hope I didn't miss any dialogue updates to my script. I think I got them all. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and export. And this basically exports a PNG of every single page we have. So we've got, apply to all. We've got the 4-panel that we're going to post by itself, and then next we're going to work on the video version. And this is where we need all those individual panels, and we're going to put them all together. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide this, and we're going to go ahead and open, and we're going to hide Claude for now. I like to move stuff out of the way. One thing let me do, turn off our background music, because we're going to make some dialogue. Everybody ready for dialogue? For this one, this is another AI that I use. Originally, I wanted to do these myself. I'm a pretty decent, voiceover actor, but the reality is doing more than one voice is tough. I can do one well. I've done plenty of voiceover stuff. I mean, I'm not, professionally trained or anything specifically to be a voice actor, but I've done so much of this stuff in my marketing that I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at doing inflections in my voice and tones and everything else. But the reality is, one, you just saw how long it takes just putting this together. I mean, I already have the script and everything, so this was literally just putting the artwork together with the dialogue. And anyway, for me to do voice acting for this too, there's not enough hours in the day, and I post Bello Bear pretty much every single day except Sunday. And then I'm doing live streams and whatever else. I just can't do it all. So then my next thought was, okay, well, maybe I'll just do one of the voices for it, which I really wanted to do. But again, it's like, what's probably going to take us about a half hour to get all the voices put together, 20 minutes, half hour to get all the voices put together using AI. If I did it myself, even just one voice, that's another half hour, 45 minutes of me just doing it, because I'm going to spend so much time with inflection and tone and trying to, redo voice, do a line different to get it exactly the way I want. It's just a crazy time consuming process. So I use AI, and I'm pretty freaking happy with it, to be honest with you. Let's see. So we're going to go to, not voice design. We're going to go text to speech, playground. I have all my voices saved. So I'm going to go to change. We're going to start with Bello, and then click on my voices, go select Bello. And then I'm going to start with his intro line. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. This is why I needed my script to be, right on the money with what's actually in the dialogue on the art page. So we're going to put that there. Then you have under advanced, you can tell, this is, by the way, this is Hume. If you're looking for a good voiceover thing for doing characters, and that sounds pretty realistic. For me, I tried a bunch of different ones. There was another one, and I can't think of the name now. That was pretty good too, but it didn't work as well for me doing individual characters. Um, I don't remember. There was some reason why. Anyway, long story short, as I landed on Hume, and I'm very happy with this. So for any of you guys that need voiceover work for characters, if you're doing cartoons, comics, what have you, um, this is a. I really like this one. This one works really well. And again, any AI crap that you work with, not crap, but any AI stuff you work with, whether that's writing, visual arts, it's a tool. You have, as much energy as you put into it, you're going to get a better product out. So keep that in mind with any of these things. It's not just going to make something for you that's going to be amazing. Pretty much impossible. All right, so I'm going to go text to speech. Basically, I'm paste my text in here at the top. I've selected my character who I want it to do, and then I'm going to give it acting instructions. I'm going to hit the auto button. It automatically generates it based on what it says, what the text is that you said. Um, this works 90 times out of 100. Other times I have to tweak it, but in this case, I asked it to auto-generate. It said the voice should be friendly and inviting, which is perfect because it's the intro. So I'm going to turn it up here a little bit so you guys can hear, hopefully. And then you just hit the generate button, and we'll probably generate a few times. With this line, it might be good right out of the gate, but anyway, here we go. We're going to hit generate.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
All right, so that's pretty good out of the gate. It definitely sounds like Bello. The only thing is, I didn't like, and I kind of knew this ahead of time, but this way I can show you. Even though grammatically it's not correct, I'm adding stuff in with the dialogue up here. I'm adding triple dot to like give him like a half a pause to say the actual name, and I'm also going to put some quotation marks around it, so that way hopefully he enunciates it. God, my nose is itching. Sorry. Um, this way he enunciates it more like it's a title of something. Hopefully, that's the plan anyway. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and hit generate, and then we'll hear what it says.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
Nice. I think we can use that. I could generate a few more just to tweak it and play with it, but I'm happy how that sounds. Downloads. Let me go to downloads. Oh, I'm going to drive you guys nuts itching my nose. It's crazy, dude. It's really itchy. And once it starts, you can't stop. So anyway, we're going to go with that one. I'm going to rename this one. I keep the original name from Hume just in case I need to, for some reason, I don't know, whatever reason. I don't like to delete it. But I call this one 0.1 intro. And the reason I call it 0 is because it's not a dialogue panel. So in like the panels, I would name it after, 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on which panel it is. But since this is the intro, and I also, I have like some sound effects and a few other things, those are all starting with the 0 because they're not part of a panel. Anyway, so that's just my naming scheme if you cared. So we're going to call that 0.1 intro. And then we go to the next one. And this is basically the outro. That Bello's going to say at the end of the comic strip, and this is like trying to get some engagement. So go ahead and paste that there. Share your worst forgot my password story. Let's see how that sounds. I'm just going to hit auto generate on the acting, and if you use this thing, I recommend always hitting the auto generate if you put in a new line of dialogue. It helps it. Otherwise, it gets very monotone and doesn't sound good. And hit generate.
Share your worst forgot my password story.
It's pretty good. Pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not like a long line or anything. I think we're going to go with it. We're going to rename this one. We're going to call this 0.2 and outro. Again, these are the zeros because they're not inside of a panel. So it makes it easy for me to understand where it goes. Do I need any? Oh, we need one more thing, but we'll deal with that later. So now I'm going to go and we're going to do the actual lines of dialogue. So this is going to be panel 1. So when I name this is going to be panel 1. So it'll be 1 point. And then since Bello's line is the second one, I'm going to call it 1.2 and then Bello. And the first line in this one is Avery, so that would be 1.1 Avery. Anyway, just if you're interested in the naming scheme, how I keep stuff organized, I'm going to go ahead and auto generate the acting, and then hit generate.
My bank says I have to change my clunky password again.
Wow, he's pretty fired up. I think that's good. I'm not going to mess with it. And later on, if we like, as we're putting this together, if we see it and we're like, yeah, this doesn't sound quite right, we can always make more of these. But I try to kind of get through these in a reasonable amount of time. Otherwise, we'll be here all day because I could do like 10 different lines or 10 different generations of that, just to find the absolute perfect one. And yeah, I'll drive myself nuts. Again, new dialogue pasted in. I'm going to hit the auto generate. It just helps the AI speak better, and then generate.
But then I have yet another subscription, and pluck! It won't accept the new one.
All right, I love the way he said, "Look, today we're having luck." A lot of times I got to go through these things like 20 times. Sometimes I have to take, like, if it's a two line piece of dialogue, I might have to do the first one, then do the second one. So far we're having luck, and I probably just jinxed myself. Anyway, this is going to be 2.2 Bello. And remember, we're kind of doing these out of order. I like to do all one character so I don't have to switch back and forth between the characters. You know, if you're not used to doing this and dealing with audio and dialogue and kind of knowing what you're listening for, it's probably better if you do these in order. So the first one would have been Avery, then we would have done Bello, back to Avery, you know, back and forth. But I'm like, I know what to listen for, so I kind of do these just all in one time just to speed up my process. All right, hit the generate acting, generate the.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and save that one. I wish he would have taken a half a breath after he says Avery. So I'm going to add my triple dots there. We'll hit generate.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working.
Better. All right. So you can see how just doing that little thing totally changed to how it is. Like the tone of it is slightly different, where he's kind of running through it really fast in the first one. I'll play him for you.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working.
Like he just runs through the line so fast instead of pausing, where then you get some emotion, you get some inflection.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working.
Much better. It's not a huge difference, but in the grand scheme of things, and especially for trying to sound more natural, this is going to make a big difference. All right, so this one should be Bello and 3.2. I'm going to chuck the other one that we didn't use. And we got one more. And this one, Bello, is actually the first one. So this one we're going to call Bello 4 or 4.1 Bello. Auto generate. Generate.
Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
Okay, that's not bad. Oh, the bear is back. Let's see. I don't hear it again. I got a little sidetracked there by the puppy came in the room. And I'm choking. Get some water. Oh, and that's another thing. Like, I want to make tumblers and stuff with Bello Bear on it. One of these next streams, we're going to get into merch. If any of you guys, especially my artist friends, you want to promote and sell your stuff, we're going to set up the merch store, and I'm going to create designs for merch. That's something that I've done for years and years and years, especially with my marketing and branding background. I think that's going to be really interesting too. But we'll get into that in another stream. Where was I? I think I was going to play it again.
Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
You know, I'm going to do the triple dots in between just so he gives it a pause, and we'll see what happens.
Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
Not bad. In my head, what I was kind of hearing was, come on, you stupid app, or come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password. So I'm kind of focusing on that is. But I think he does take that up a little bit. Let's play it one more time. He doesn't quite go down as far as I would have liked on is my new password, but I think it's fine.
Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
He kind of focused on the password, so that's okay. I like it. It's not really going to screw anything up. I did have, all right, we might have to change it a little bit because I did have that is capitalized for the dialogue. Um, but that's an easy fix. I think this sounds really good. It's very natural. So I'd rather change something in the graphics part of it real quick than trying to force the dialogue to work with the or the audio work with the text dialogue. Um, Sometimes it's easier to go that way around. So anyway, let's go ahead and change our character, our actor. We're going to change to Avery, and we're going to paste. No, I copied instead of paste. We're going to go copy, paste, and then I'm going to auto generate acting again. And just so I read it, see, you probably can't see it on the screen, but the voice conveys concern mixed with slight irritation. That sounds about right for what Avery's doing right here.
What are you so upset about, Bella?
That's not bad. You know what? I'm going to do another one just to see if he changes his tone a little bit.
What are you so upset about, Bella?
It's a little bit more breathy. I don't know why he went that direction. Let me play him again. This is the first one, which I think we're going to go with.
What are you so upset about, Bella? What are you so upset about, Bella?
Although I kind of like the way the inflection and is a little better than that. But again, I could sit here all day and mess around with these when I don't need to. Avery 1.1. Let's get his next line. Again, copy paste. Auto generate. I'm going to hit generate.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
Okay, he's kind of blasting through the lines. We'll do a triple dot after listen. Oh my God, my nose itches. Oh, this is brutal. I should take some allergy medicine or something, but I hate allergy meds. It knocks you on your ass. And I can't concentrate. All right, let's try that.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
What the hell was that? He totally sounds different. He changed his total tone. Sometimes AI does that, and sometimes it's great. Most of the time, you're like, why are you all of a sudden like? It's almost like he's British, but he's trying to do like a Southern accent as a Brit. It's weird. Let's try generate again.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
Okay, he's too angry. He's not yelling at Bello here. He's a little annoyed, maybe. So I'm going to change the acting. I'm going to hit auto generate. The voice expresses annoyed, frustration, and disappointment. I'm going to take the disappointment off of there. And I'm going to change annoyed. I'm going to say light frustration. And we'll see what we get. Generate.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
That's pretty good. I think he's going through the line a little fast, but at the same time too, he's a little elevated, so he might be a little faster. Let's try generating one more time, but I think we might go with that.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
No, that sounds totally wrong. Let's hear the first one again.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
Okay. I'm happy with that. I feel like the timing could be just a little bit better, but I'm not mad at it. It's pretty damn good. Avery, so it's going to be a 2.1 Avery, and let's go to panel 3. Paste. Oh, God. No, his voice should be calm, helpful, and instructive. All right, let's see what we got.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
That's not bad. It seems a little flat.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
Let's auto-generate the acting.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
Okay, I like that one. Let me save that. Gets a little more calm and helpful. Let's generate one more time.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
That one's not bad either. Timing is slightly different. Let's go back and I'm going to play the ones I downloaded for you.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character. Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
I don't know. They feel something feels a little off. Let me play this one again.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
Actually, I like that one the best out of all of them. Let's go ahead and go with it for now. We might end up. I'm going to download this one. I think that's the. We might go back and do some more later once we get this put together. Like once you. So I'm going to put this together in Adobe Premiere, my video app. And once you hear all the voices together, it starts making a little bit more sense, and we can decide if somebody's line doesn't sound quite right. That was Avery, Bubba. Okay, now we need one for Bubba, so I'm going to change the voice. My voice is Bubba. Go ahead and paste. We're going to do auto generate of acting again, then hit generate.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
What in the heck? Okay. The acting was express cynicism, resignation. Okay, it says dark humor. I like that. Let me just get rid of the other stuff. The voice expresses dark humor. Let's try that. That was just sounded weird. It didn't sound like Bubba.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
The voice expresses you know what? I'm just going to copy the dark humor part because I think that kind of ties in, because he should be like, I don't know, he should be happy, helpful, but there should be a little tone of, you're screwed anyway. So let's do auto generate, cynical. Yeah, it's just giving me the same thing. Jaded. The voice is helpful and one of those weird words. Do you guys have any of these weird words like helpful? I always want to spell it with 2 L's. Another one that I know is wrong instantly. Celery. I spell it with 2 L's every freaking time. And then I look at it, I'm like, oh shit, no, it's supposed to be 1 L. Anyway, random side note. All right, let's try that for voice act for the instructions. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
He's supposed to be kind of happy on that last part, like joking about it. Let's just generate.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right, this might be one of those I was talking about earlier, where I have to do this in 2 pieces. Let me hear it one more time.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and save that one. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into 2 pieces. So we're going to do like one tone is going to go for the first part. I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe. Like I want kind of that tone. Let's see what happens.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
He's enunciating really weird. Let's try generating again.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
Let me auto-generate the acting.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
I hear you. I'm going to try a comma instead of triple dot. Like sometimes you really got to trick AI to do what the hell you want. But when you get there, it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to change that. Let me go ahead and hit generate.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
I hear he's doing. Let me try regenerating the acting. Stern, serious. No, I don't want him too stern. The voice should be serious. No, it says serious and commanding. That doesn't make any sense. Slightly menacing. No. All right, this could be closer. The voice expresses calm reassurance and caution. That sounds more like what I'm after.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
Yeah, it's a little down. I'm going to go ahead and save it.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
He's saying I hear you so weird and slow. It's kind of bugging me. One other option we have in here is you can speed the speaking speed. You can bring it up or take it down. So I'm going to speed it up just a hair.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass.
That's not what I wanted. All right, let me try the triple dot in there again. See if he'll take a breath.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
All right, it's not bad. Let's see what I got here, what I saved.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
That's like depressed and doesn't sound right. Why did it pop up with that?
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
I think I might just use the original and just chop that first part off and add.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe.
No, I think the first one's the best. So in that case, what I'm going to do is in the Premiere in the video app, I'm just going to chop right where I want it, right after but, or right before but, and then I'm just going to do this line. And see auto generate tone cynical and resigned.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Let's take out resigned and go with dark humor. I want him to kind of, I don't know, pick his voice up a little bit. Like, you know, they know it's screwed. So let's go ahead and hit generate.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
That's pretty good. It's got a little bit of upness, like it's a little uppity, but it's resigned to like we're screwed. Let me go ahead and save that one, and then we'll generate a couple more just to see.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Almost. Let me slow my speech back down to 1.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Okay. I like that he gave me an option. I don't think it's good, but you can see, like, if you keep going, you generate, you're going to get different options. And sometimes some of them are just better.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right. Nope. Got to keep the speed up. We'll put it to 1.25, and then we'll hit generate.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Jeez. All right. Like tripled the speed.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right. We're going to go with what we got. I think we're good. Let me play him again.
But everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
That's good. And then here's the first part.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right. We might end up just using that one, but let's find out. 4.2 Avery, or no, Bubba. And then we're going to save this one. So this is kind of the second part. So we're going to go for 4.2.1 Avery. Why do I keep saying Avery? It's Bubba. I've been mixing everybody up today. All right, so we got all of our dialogue. I am going to take these. I'm going to drag them just up to the next folder, which has got all my pieces. It's going to go in there. Ding. So we are ready to do some video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over to my other screen. You're not going to see my files just because it makes it easier for me to drag them over. So I'm going to open up my last video. So this was episode 26. And we are basically going to replace pretty much everything in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And this is where I'm going to bring in all those panels we exported as PNGs. Those are going to come in here, and that's going to be our visual for this episode. This is going to be the opening dialogue. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and I'll bring in the new one. Intro, there it is. Wow, that's long. Oops. Intro. Wait, why do I have 2 in here? Did I miss something?
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, Dollar Up.
Oh, for some reason I had the old one in there. That would have thrown me off. Okay. And this one seems a little long. Let me cut that down. Wow. Okay, we might have to. This is new. Usually they're not this long. Let's trim this down a little bit. I'm gonna use the razor blade tool.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27.
Oh, that's right, because I had them kind of paused there. So let's bring this down, slide these over. I want to have this come over a little bit. Here, let me zoom in so I can, it naturally wants to like click to the next thing, which is good, but not right now when I'm trying to shorten it and I'm trying to cut some stuff out of it. So, all right, we'll move that over, slide that over. This one, we got a little room, and then this actually goes up on the next line up. There we go. All right, so this is the intro.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
Oh, that's weird. Hang on a second. We got weird stuff going on.
I'm Bello.
Let me get these out of the way. I've got like a backing sound music track too. That's weird.
It
What happened? Why is that different? I'm very confused. It should end on the perfect note. Did I change this thing or something? Ugh. That is weird. All right, that's all right. We'll figure it out. Yeah, this should move because this is supposed to go all the way up to there. Something got wonky.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234. 34.
Yeah, it just chops off really weird right there. Ugh. Sorry, I gotta figure this out. Like it's supposed to end like on the right, just on the perfect note, and I don't know why it changed. I'm not sure.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234. In honor.
That is so weird. I wonder if all right, this is gonna be annoying, but I gotta try to figure this out. Usually this is one of the reasons I use my last one because it makes it easy.
Of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar frame to mark the occasion.
Sorry, I'm gonna delete all these lines from the last one too. Like it'll make it easier for me to get this fixed. And we're gonna pop in the new dialogue right here. But let me figure out the. There it is. It should be ending on that dun dun dun. There it is. Something must have gotten wonky. I don't know why. But we'll figure it out. And then I think I had this on atmosphere, or was it Bello? I think I had it on Bello.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
Okay, I'm missing a couple notes there. Here, let me slide this over so you don't have to keep hearing the intro line. That is so weird. I don't know what happened. Sorry, you're gonna have to deal with me getting this thing fixed real quick. Ah, there we go. Now we got it. Just got to end on that note. It should be. Bingo! We got it. Okay. I don't know what happened to that, why that got all wonky. So that should line up there. That should line up there. This needs to slide over. That's our little intro note. And then this is the sound effect. Here, I'll play that for you too. I don't even know if you can hear it if you hold up your phone to your ear. It's really subtle. It's basically the atmosphere. It's the sound effects of like what if you were at the deli? What would you hear? You might hear fridge humming. You might hear car on the outside, people walking by, that kind of thing. And that's basically what this is. It's really subtle. Probably don't even notice it, but it's there, and it's just to make it feel more real. All right, so let's double check the opening.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
Perfect. Okay, I think we're good. I still feel like it's off. I don't know why, because the music should start right at the very beginning. And I don't know what, something got thrown off here. Let me slide Bello over a little bit here. Like I usually have the timing on this set just nailed it, where it's exactly where it should be. And usually the intro fits in here perfectly. It's just a little bit big today.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
Okay, we're good there. That's how it should, because it's supposed to end on that music note too. Not sure what happened, where it went wonky, but anyway, we're gonna. Sorry, I got sidetracked with that. This always happens. Like there's always something you got to fix or change. But we're getting close, and I got to wrap this up. Gosh, it's almost 5 o'clock. We got stuff to do today, so let me start getting dialogue in here. Who's our Avery? I think we start with Avery. No, where's my script? Yep, we start with Avery, then Bello. So I'm going to get all these lines in here. Bello is here. He's the first. Oh, jeez, come on. Bello. There we go. Now I got it. Again, gotta have 2 fingers over the mouse or it starts doing weird stuff. It's really frustrating. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay these in here. 1, 2, switch up the different dialogue, and it's gonna be Avery 3. It's gonna go there, then Bello 3. Then we'll go down to Bello is next on 4. And then we got Bubba. And Bubba his track is this bottom one. And we got Bubba 2. So we're going to have to trim Bubba 4 because remember I used 2 different ones. But let's just go ahead and play so you can kind of get a feel. Actually, let me move these over just a hair. It'll make sense why I'm doing this in a minute. But I always I move the audio slightly over from wherever I want it to start. So we're just going to listen to it, and we're going to listen to the audio because I'm focused on making sure the dialogue flows right, our characters sound natural, and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's give it a whirl.
What are you so upset about, Bello?
My bank says I have to change my coffee password again.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
But then I have yet another subscription, and pluck, it won't accept the new one.
All right, so that one there, I feel like Bello should come in just a hair faster. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this over just a little bit. Move that over. And then we're going to move this over. So let's go back to the beginning and kind of see. And I feel like, you know what? We probably should have moved this over too. Let me go ahead and grab these 3. I'm going to slide this over. And let's give it a shot now.
What are you so upset about, Bello?
My bank says I have to change my clocking password again.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
But then I have yet another subscription, and pluck, it won't accept the new one.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
All right, now I'm going to slide this over since we moved all those over. Let's go back to the middle
2,
of
3, 4 bear and add a special character.
That's exactly what I did.
All right, we got to move this one over. Like there's just a hair too much space in between. Sometimes you need that breath, you need that pause. Other times it just doesn't quite work. So let's go back a little bit.
The new one.
Use your usual 1, 2, 3, 4 bear and add a special character.
That's exactly what I did, Avery. And it is not working. Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
I hear you. Keep the bank.
All right, we need to, Bubba needs to come in much sooner than that. All right, let's slide this over.
Everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
You know what? Let's just see how it sounds with that line. I might remember I have two parts for Bubba's line. I might cut that and put the other one in there. But let's just see, make sure the timing works well.
234 Bear, another special character.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working. Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. They're all flowing pretty good. Let's see about cutting this Bubba's line with
Keep the bank pass safe.
keep the bank pass safe, and then I'm going to chop that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here because I don't want to throw that one away yet. We might end up coming back to it, but then let's move this one in. Back up a little bit.
New password.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right, yep, I like that one better. So I'm going to go ahead and I can delete that other one now. But I do want just a hair of space before but. Like it's just a little too fast. So let's go back.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Nice. Okay, that feels pretty good. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to tighten this up on the end of his line. Then we're going to move. This is our background noise. So I'm going to slide that over. This is my like outro tone. It's basically microwave, which is appropriate, of course.
New password.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
And that's it. And then we do the outro. Wait, do I have two outros? Why do I have two outros?
What's on your list of life's real treasure?
Oh, somehow I didn't delete the old one, so all right, that's fine. Will you do it now? All right, so that's that one. This gets deleted. I have a new outro finish, so let me get that dragged over. I know you can't see my files right now, but just bear with me. Outro. There it is. I did a new outro that's got that I'm actually in there, and it's just a whole video, so I can easily drag it in there. And then, so next what we're going to do is we'll go to, let me go back to episodes 27, and we're going to bring in all that artwork we made. So the rest of the PNGs. So let me go ahead and grab those. These are, and that didn't help me. Let me zoom out. I'm going to move the ending out a little bit. When I bring in the images, it puts them in with a specific amount of time for each one, and those I need to bring those down. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in a little bit, and these are all the images to go with the dialogue. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So the first one, we're going to line that up there. So you'll see, why are you so upset, Bello? That goes with Avery's line. Then the next one slides in. And so one thing I was talking about earlier, how I like to have the dialogue offset a little bit from the visual. For whatever reason, or I'll show it to you before I do it. For whatever reason, when you have the audio and the visual together, and you have them starting exactly the same time, it feels off. I don't know why that is, but it is. So for whatever reason, so what I do is I have the visual pop in really quick, just a half a second before. I'll show you what this looks like without doing that.
Set about Bello.
My bank says I.
So you see how like really quick the image changed, but your ear didn't quite catch up, so it feels a little off. So what you do is you slide over. I'm going to slide the image over just a hair, and then we'll play it again. You'll see.
You so upset about Bello.
My bank says I have to change my clocking password again.
So you've just that little half a second before makes all the difference for feeling more natural. I don't know why that is. I mean, obviously, like visually, our eyes are faster than our ears here. So maybe it's that. it just kind of sets you up. It kind of grounds you into what audio you're gonna hear. I don't quite know, but anyway, so that's one thing I do. So if you want to get into doing this and you're gonna do this with your comics, that's something to note. Let's see that one. Okay, that one's good there. We got it lined up back here, and I'm just gonna go through and get these all put in here. And so first, you want to line it up so it's going to line up. So you see it lines up with my audio, and I'm drag it over just a hair. And then it's, of course, you want it to end on the end of the audio. Again, then I'm going to line it up there first. Then I'm going to slide it over just one notch. Then I'm going to make sure that the visual ends with the audio again. And why do I have an extra audio? What am I missing? Come on, you stupid. Oh, that's right, because we have two. Bello has back-to-back lines. Panel 3, he's the second line. Panel 4, he's the first line. That's what was throwing me off. So we're going to move that over. I forgot. Let me slide that over a notch. And we got the last line. This is Avery, or not Avery, Bubba. I don't know why I'm saying, I'm getting their names confused today, but all right. And then we line that up at the end. And then we'll zoom out. And then we have our end tone, which tells you the comic is over. Whoops. I need to bring in one more piece of art. This is Bello's line. Slide that over and line that up there. And now everything should flow together at the very end, even with my extra outro there. Let's take a peek at that real quick.
Share your worst forgot my password story.
Please support us by liking and sharing.
And don't forget to follow.
Hi, I'm Seb, the creator of Bello Bear. And I threw in a little extra thing because I want people, a lot of people don't know I go live with these things. And so, I really want more people to join me. So I created this little extra thing, but I did notice we have one continuity problem. So check out the audio compared to the visual dialog box.
Share your worst forgot my password story.
Please support.
I didn't add, I added it in the art. See, I forgot for my script. So we need to redo that one. Share your worst forgot my password story. And I think we say what in the comments? Yes, we do. In the comments. Okay, so we're going to do, we need to redo that piece of audio real quick. That's an easy one. There's not like, we're not trying to get a huge amount of emotion out of there. We got to change our voice though. Let's change my voices. Bello. I'm going to paste, auto generate, and generate.
Share your worst forgot my password story in the comments.
I think that works just fine. Let me try one more. I'm going to go ahead and save that one though, but let me try one more. You kind of, speaking speed, I forgot I bumped it up. Let's go back down to 1 and then hit generate.
Share your worst forgot my password story in the comments.
Much better. Like these are like, I don't know, you just had a bunch of caffeine or something. It's a little too fast.
Share your worst forgot my password story in the comments.
He's like really fired up.
Share your worst forgot my password story in the comments.
Much better. All right, so we're going to do this, rename this. This is going to be 0.2 outro. And I'm going to go ahead and delete my old one. Sorry, you still can't see my files. But it's hard. It's because the Premiere is like, really a full screen app. It's a pain in the butt to have the files on here. Okay, offline all. And notice that I took away the old ones. We're going to bring in the new one, and we're getting close. We are getting very, very close. Let me zoom in and let me make sure this all lines up. Yes, that lines up there. I should actually do this. I should move that over here. Because remember, I always want that to come in first. We're going to move that there. And then what happened here? Let's try that one more time. It looked like it cut off a little piece of the, oh, it does because it has dead air at the end. It cut off a little piece of the video audio that I have there. All right, let's move this over.
My password story.
Wrong button. If you hit the space bar, it'll start the audio for you. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. And now I can line these up here. All right, let's just double check and make sure I didn't miss anything. We're going to watch it anyway, but
Share your worst forgot my password story in the comments.
Please support us by liking and sharing.
And don't forget to follow.
Hi, I'm Seb the Critic.
perfect. All right, let's go back. We're going to watch it from the beginning. We'll probably watch it through a couple times just to make sure we don't have any issues with the audio, that the visuals are lining up with the audio. We'll also look at listening to the audio and then making sure that the dialogue matches, the dialogue box matches what it says. Just like I noticed in the outro, it didn't. We're going to do the same thing throughout. So we'll play it a couple times.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
Okay.
What are you so upset about, Bella?
My bank says I have to change my clocking password again.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
But then I have yet another subscription, and pluck! It won't accept the new one.
Use your usual 1234 bear and add a special character.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working. Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
I hear you. Keep the bank pass safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Son of a. See, this is why we got to watch and listen to. I had the old script where it says bank pass safe. All right. Not a huge deal. So let's go, and I'm going to go ahead and copy. This is why I usually do at the end, and I kind of went out of order today, and it screwed me. So we're going to go ahead and change this in here. I hear you, Bello. Did we say Bello too? I don't even remember if we did. Anyway, so we're going to use this one. We got to go back to Hume, which sucks because this one was a bit of a pain in the butt. I'm going to change the voice. My voice is Avery. Paste, auto generate. Probably gonna have to do this in two pieces again. And while I'm at it, you know what? Let me go ahead and delete. Did I say Avery? I meant Bubba. Why am I getting their names confused today? Voices, Bubba. That's really annoying. Go ahead and hit the acting. I'm gonna go ahead and delete the Bubba ones I have here. Wait a minute. What did I? Let's bear with me 1 second here.
I hear you. Keep the bank.
Yeah, I don't even say Bello in there. Damn it. This is why we got to, double check our work, triple check our work. All right, let's see what he does. Let me turn it down just a hair for you so it's not blasting loud.
I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right, so we'll keep the I hear you, Bello. Let's download that one. Then we're going to delete that. Auto generate. Darkly humorous and cynical. I don't think resigned is the right one. I don't think we got a good result with that before. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that part. It's going to be darkly humorous and cynical. Let's see what we get.
Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Wait, what did I just do? Did I get that wrong? Let's download. I think I did it different before. I hear you, Bello. Oh. Well, all right, let's see what it sounds like. I think I broke it into different spots than before.
I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right, that's not bad. I kind of broke it in like a different spot there, but I think it works all right. So let's go see what it sounds like. 4.2 Bubba. And then we're going to go 4. Rename. We're going to do 4.2.1 Bubba. Again, sorry, I've got this on the other screen and you can't see me, messing with these and renaming them stuff. But it's easier when you're working in Adobe Premiere to be able to offline all. And notice that I deleted those. It's easier to drag them from this screen to this one, as you can see there. And we can go ahead and delete or use our razor blade tool to cut the. They use the razor blade tool. It's kind of our homage to the back in the olden days of cutting film, they would use a razor blade to cut the film. We'll go ahead and replace that. Let's see how it looks.
That is my new password.
I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
All right, I'm kind of glad we had to redo this because this actually works better. I'm going to give him a hair more space between the two lines, probably too much. And then let me move my outro out of the way. We're going to have to move that anyway. There we go. I'm going to slide that over. And then let's see, move our background audio or sound effects, if you will.
Password.
I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Perfect. And then we add our little beep in at the end. I think that can move over just a hair. That looks good right there. And then we're going to move our outro back over. And I think we should be good. This is why I watch it, a few times and listen. And so let's check it out. Hopefully we got everything right.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27, password 1234.
What are you so upset about, Bello?
My bank says I have to change my clocking password again.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
But then I have yet another subscription, and pluck! It won't accept the new one.
Use your usual 1234 bear and add a special character.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working. Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Share your worst forgotten.
Let me double check.
Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Okay, we're good. All right, one more last thing, just because, you know what, nobody else is going to notice it, but I'm picky as bleep. I'm going to change, I had these capitalized, and I don't think they need to be. That is my new password. Since he kind of focuses on passwords, saying, password at the end, I just visually, for me personally, I would notice that little detail. The nice thing is I can just replace. So I changed it. You apply to all, yes. I'm going to hit save just for sake of argument, and it'll actually update it for me, which is nice. So where are we at? Oop, that is my, darn it, went too far. There it is. Oh, it didn't update it. What's up with that? I'm going to close out of it. It should update it. Usually it updates automatically. Yep. Nope. What is going on? Let me double check my file over here. That was like 3.2.
A letter says,
What?
Hey homie, I can share your stream in a Kik community to help you have followers and viewers and also earn from stream. Let's chat. Add me up on Discord. My Discord username is aboy100.
I guess I gotta, yeah, maybe. I don't need any spam right now. Thanks though, bud. I think I need to turn off the voiceover thing. That is my, okay, what is going on? Did I not change it? Yeah, I changed it there. Export, let's try exporting again. It should have updated automatically. Yes, that's good. We're gonna hit apply to all. Maybe I didn't hit apply all last time. Okay, I definitely updated it now. So what am I missing? Huh. I'm very confused. Yeah, I'm very confused, guys. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Adobe and password 1234. It's changed there. I exported it, so why isn't it updating? All right, we're not going to lose sleep over this one. I got to wrap this one up. So let's go ahead and hide that. Now we're going to go ahead and, let me watch through it one more time, and I want to see the outro too, because I've only watched that, I think, once. Now I want to make sure I don't have anything major issues there. We'll watch the whole thing through. Short of me seeing something crazy, I'm not stopping, and we should be done. So bear with me, and then we'll export, and we can start posting on social.
Hello, I'm Bello. This 27, password 1234.
What are you so upset about, Bello?
My bank says I have to change my clocking password again.
Like I keep saying, but you don't listen. You should get a password manager.
But then I have yet another subscription, and pluck! It won't accept the new one.
Use your usual 1234 bear and add a special character.
That's exactly what I did, Avery, and it is not working. Come on, you stupid bank app. That is my new password.
I hear you, Bello. Keep the bank password safe, but everything else is getting stolen in the next data breach anyway.
Cool.
Share your worst forgot my password story in the comments.
Please support us by liking and sharing.
And don't forget to follow.
Hi, I'm Seb, the creator of Bello Bear, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up that I live stream almost daily, showing you how I create Bello Bear. Everything from writing to art to video, so you can see the creative process. And on top of that, I love chatting with you while we're working. You can find my live streams on these sites, or keep an eye on my posts, as I always give you a 30-minute heads up before we get started. Thanks so much for enjoying Bello Bear, and I hope to see you at the live stream. Okay, bye. Perfect. Woo! All right, we're done. Rename. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to File, Export, Media, and I've already got these all preset from my last one. I just need to change the name and hit Export. And it's going to do its thing. It's going to take a few seconds. I'm going to go ahead and bring my files over here too, so you guys can see that. And we're almost done. But you can tell it's a lot of freaking work. There's a lot of work to do. You know, if I didn't do the video version, I'd save myself probably a solid hour, if not more. But it's a lot of work, and you know, to put these things together. But I love it. It's, you know, it's been my passion project. I've wanted to do a comic strip since I was a little kid, and you know, now I have the tools to do it properly and to actually make it work. So, you know, I'm not complaining. It's a passion project, and I love what I do. And you know, getting to hang out with you guys and show you the process, and you know, hopefully, you know, as artist to artist. I really love, you know, sharing what I learn along the way, because there's been tons of artists in the past and that have, you know, gotten me on the road and helped me along too. So let's see. We got a couple things we got to do, and then we can start posting. I need to, basically, I get my text ready for posting on socials. So this is my post text, so I can just copy and paste for each one, because I've got to post this to like 10 different ones, something like that. Oh crap, we need one more thing from Claude. For my social post, I always have a little description. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna hide Hume. Let's get to Claude. Hey, can you give me? He knows what it is. So basically, it's just a little short. The one where whatever happens in the episode description, so I can post it. And he usually gives me some options. It's basically like a tagline. Let's see what he's got here. We'll try to pick one pretty quick. I don't spend too much time on this. The one where digital security meets analog frustration. No. The one where passwords become the enemy. The one where technology fights back. The one where subscription service. No, we don't focus on subscription. It's more about the password. The one where Bello Bear battles the machines. The one where simple tasks become impossible. The one where everyone tries to help but nothing works. Modern life. No. The one where circles have. What the? Yeah, you're not kidding. That's abstract. Sometimes what I do is I do a combination of stuff too. The closest we really have is passwords become the enemy. The one where Bello battles. We're going to tweak it just a little bit. Like I said, sometimes, you know, Claude gets it right on the money. Other times, not so much. I'm going to go ahead and change this. We're going to use that. The one where passwords become the enemy. What the heck was I just thinking? The one where passwords are Bello's enemy. Bello's enemy. And mind you, like again, like this doesn't have to be anything amazing. It's just I want something there to give you like an intro into what the story is about. Next up, we're going to use my buddy Gemini. This is Google's AI, and Gemini is pretty darn good at. Looks like it's still loading. Gemini is pretty good at giving me hashtags. I need a few hashtags for my posts to help it go viral. So I'm going to go ahead and show her the comic. Here's the next comic. Can you give me 5 hashtags to go viral on TikTok? I usually just do TikTok. You could probably tell her to pick for other stuff, but I don't know. That one she always seems to give me pretty good stuff that works well. I need to start these streams earlier because usually I'm done by now. Password problems. See, that's a good hashtag. Sometimes just copy those, paste them in here. Tech humor, definitely. Webcomic, yep. Small business owner. FYP. Let's change out the small business owner. I'm not very excited about that one. We had password problems, tech humor, webcomic, password. Let's do password manager. Sometimes, you gotta improvise, but we're good there. All right, though. Now we're gonna start pasting. We can hide that, and let's go to. We've got to place this in a few different places. So first one we're going to start with is upload the video to YouTube. It's uploading right now. Then I'm going to go ahead and put all my stuff in here. Title 1, 2, 3 for password. The one where passwords are Bello's enemy. Watch on YouTube. I'm going to delete that part. We'll use that for other places we post. Period. I'm going to select a playlist. I have 2 that I use, one for non sequitur bits and then one for the episodes. So I'm going to add that to the episodes. No, this is not made for kids, even though it's PG-13. I feel like it's not specifically for kids, especially not young ones. So then I'm going to go ahead and I can add a related video. So I always do the previous one. So if you were like watching this on YouTube, you could be watching the newest one. There's a little button at the bottom. You click on the next one. So you could basically binge all of these if you wanted to. We're going to go ahead and next. I know there's no copyright problems. Public, hit publish. And oh, it's still uploading. Oh my God, it's taking forever. That's all right. The other thing that I'm going to do too, this is a weird one. So I have to go, once the video is done loading, I actually have to go to my phone and I'm going to go basically to my channel and everything into my uploads. I got to change I think my internet's running slow right now because although we are streaming at the same time, that could be why. I'm going to go to YouTube app, switch account. I'm going to go to my Bello Bear account. And then what I got to do once this, 2 minutes, once this finishes uploading, I can't, for whatever reason, I can't change the thumbnail for my video on the desktop version of YouTube. Don't ask me why. It's really stupid because I always want the thumbnail to be basically the very first panel because it tells you what the episode number is and what the title is. So I want it to be that, but for whatever reason, YouTube automatically just kind of picks a random spot in your video as your thumbnail, which is really annoying and really frustrating because I want that first one, but I can't do it in the desktop app. The only way you can do it is through the mobile app. So it's one of those weird, dumb things. So anyway, once this is done uploading, I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to change the thumbnail for it. So looks like we're still going. God, it is dragging. I know we're streaming, so we're uploading this the stream at the same time, but this is really slow. So we gotta wait. So I hope you got something cool out of watching this. If you're a fellow artist, and I know a lot of my friends on TikTok are, unfortunately we're not streaming to you guys yet because TikTok is making it difficult, but we should be live pretty soon. Hopefully you joined me on one of the other channels. But crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it. Oh, a lot of my friends on TikTok, they're all artists too, or at least most of them are artists. So if any of you guys are interested in doing your comics as videos and or if you're trying to do a cartoon, you could probably pick up a few things here and there. I mean, obviously we're not doing full on animation, um, but hopefully you picked up some cool tricks and tips that'll help you out, and even creating your comics too. Doing my way of doing it where I do the here we go, where I set up my base art in Illustrator and then bring it into when I do my layout in InDesign. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys because there's there's a lot of moving parts and it's not that easy. Okay, let's see. Videos, manage videos. There we go. Shorts. There it is. Let's edit this. Edit thumbnail. Looks like it might still be loading. There it is. Save. See, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the thumbnail. Now it shows that very first part of the video. And before it didn't. It was just some random spot inside the video. We'll hit save. We're done there. Let's refresh here just to double check. And now this part's a little on the boring side, but it's basically showing you how I do get shareable link. I forgot to grab that. I'm going to paste that right here. And this is my text that I use for posting on social. So I've got Bello Bear, episode 27, password 1234, the title, the one where passwords are Bello's enemy. So like a little, tagline to tell you what's in there. Then I say, because I really want to start building up my audience on YouTube too, and I probably will for the other channels. But for now, I say watch and follow on YouTube with the link to the thing. Then I've got my hashtags too. So we're good to go. So I'm going to copy that, and we're basically going to start posting this thing everywhere. I post it one more time on YouTube, but I just post the image, the 4-panel, the classic, version. Let it do its thing. There it is. And now I'm going to go through all my other socials. I'm going to start out with, what is this one? This is Instagram. So I'm going to do post. I'm going to drag the video in there. Hi, puppy.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 27.
This one's a little weird. You got to change the format. It doesn't auto-detect the format for you. I'll be done in a minute, buddy. I'll be done. You just got to wait a little bit, okay? Or you can't come lay over here right now. All right, let me move stuff away. There. Now you can lay down over there. Next. I'm going to paste my text in there. I do it just so I can, make posting easy because, like I said, I got to go through like 10 different social apps or social sites. I'm going to hit share. And we have to do it twice each time too, because I do the video first, and then second I should post the 4-panel. Because a lot of people like traditional comics. I like traditional comics. I do love the video version, but this kind of works for everybody. Some people are old school. They just want to see a traditional comic with 4 panels. Other people are like, yeah, you know what? I like both, or I like the I like the video version better. And that way you have an option. It's kind of like getting with the times, I think, where most people like just hitting the play button or having it up in their feed and you scroll to it and auto plays for you. So definitely, I like having both versions. This is going to take forever. It's probably because we're still streaming, which is kind of sucking my bandwidth. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. We'll go ahead and finish the stream. Jump on whatever your favorite social is. If you want to see the actual comics, you know, whatchamacallit, like Twitch, I can't post them there because you can't do still, you know, or just non-live stuff. So just find me on your favorite social. It's at Bello Bear official, and you can find me there. And definitely follow it because I post these things almost every single day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Those are the episodes like we just did. On Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I do what I call non sequitur bits, and that's where Avery and Bello are trying their hand at stand-up comedy. And so, you know, Avery gives Bello a good setup, and then Bello tries to land a punchline with varying degrees of success, but they're still really funny. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna get off of here so I can finish posting these. It'll go faster because it's taken forever to upload, probably because we're still streaming. And yeah, come by. I'll stream some more tomorrow. I'm trying to stream every single day, weekday, and then Saturdays. I usually like to take a little break and play video games, maybe a little bit of pinball, and so I like streaming on those days too. Just to, you know, kind of have R&R downtime just to relax and just hang out with you guys and chat and not be about work for me. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. Please definitely come by tomorrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll be with